The morning boxing talks. It was good. Jaguar Wayne Fitness was good. We got a great fight coming up this weekend. We're going to be talking about it. I want to get people's predictions for this fight. It feels like a lot of people are leaning one way, and I think it's important to say that Better Beef is the logical choice. I don't want to get too much into my own feelings and my own thoughts. But yes, Better Beef is the logical choice, but you shouldn't count out Smith, because he's going to take a different approach to the approach that Vosdick took. He's going to take a different approach to the approach that Marcus Brown took, many other fighters. Artur Better Beef can make the ring a very small and dangerous place. You're not going to get away from him. So you might be better off taking the fight to him, because as far as moving lateral and staying on the perimeter of the ring, that's just gonna, that's an exercise in futility. He's gonna catch up to you. He's gonna get to you. So, the idea that you're gonna try to outlast him and maybe win a points decision, you're not. This guy has 100% knockout ratio against formidable fighters like Alexander Vosdick, against the former Olympian in Marcus Brown. This guy is going to catch up to you. So Joe Smith Jr.'s approach will be different. I believe it'll be different. I believe he's going to stay in character and do what he does best. He's going to Joe Smith the hell out of the guy, and it's either going to work or it's not. Yes, I am wearing a skelly whilst wearing a T-shirt. I'm going to be one of those guys, one of those like bohemian guys, like gnarly, bro. Really, it's because I want to get a haircut, and my hair is crazy right now. I want to get a haircut. Hey, what's goody based kid? West Side in the building. Sophia, punch perfect boxing with the perfect punches in the building. Aye! David Cocabides is in the building. Capricornian based kid is in the building. And yeah, man, Wayne is in the building. Wayne Fitness, getting fit, getting strong. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I've been contemplating buying Fruity Loops Studio. For those that don't know, I used to make beats when I was younger, approximately 20 years ago. I was fairly good at it. Fairly good. I wasn't great. I was fairly good. I'm wondering if I should do that, because I see several financial opportunities there. My only hang up with going back to making beats, aside from, uploading content, is it's very time consuming. If you made beats yourself, or you ever used Reason or Fruity Loops, the software, MIDI pads, all that stuff is very time consuming. And that's my only hang up, that it does take a while for you to put together something worth listening to. But I am contemplating that, because there's several things that I would like to make. I don't want to run across any copyrighted material or anything like that. And I know that I can reverse engineer melodies just fine. I can do that. That's easy. And, there won't be any issues, because there won't be any source material. It'll be straight off the dome. But we'll see, we'll see. It is something that I'm definitely thinking about, and knowing myself, more than likely, because I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to do it. But, maybe just not right away. Yeah, I'm a hipster, bro. Mocha venti latte cappuccino, bro. I'm a hipster, bro. That instrumental is, I appreciate that, Wayne. A long time ago, I used to make beats, but the computer that had all my source files, it actually died. The hard drive died. So I wasn't able to save very much of what I had. I was only able to really save about maybe 4 or 5 beats, the max. Then only 2 or 3 of them were beats that I was like, hey, and that was one of them. That was the bad guy with the Al Pacino soundbite from Scarface. That was one of the few beats I was able to salvage. I had more than that. Several source files. Project files. And I was pissed. That was years ago. I'm talking about like 2 decades ago, maybe a little less. And yeah, I kind of want to go back to doing that. I'm a music guy. I like music. So, and I can make stuff. So I kind of want to do that. And we'll see if I don't. I mean, it doesn't cost much. Fruity Loops is only about, the full pack is only about, 200? It's the time that it takes that really is the hang up for me. It takes time to make a decent beat. It does take time, you know what I mean? And creativity, it happens when it happens. You can't rush it and you can't force it. It happens when it happens. I do want to get Georgia O'Connor to do a Georgia O'Connor unbeaten up and comer campaigns that are around 147 to 154 pounds. I'm going to ask her when I get her on here live, because I have corresponded, if she could do like a jingle. I'll pay, because right now I want to do some intros, and the subscribers really like when the fighters themselves are in the intros. The Sule Murbina, the Jessica McCaskill, the Raven Chapman, Melissa Odessa, Sinisi Estrada. They love when they see the fighters in the intros. I always get positive feedback when it comes to those intros. So and she can sing, like she can legitimately sing and play a classical guitar. So I'm gonna see if I could get her to do a intro. Isan, you son of a bitch, get that money, Isan. I'm gonna get your money. I fooled you. You actually bet on Gennady Golovkin's? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I was goody Christopher Jermaine. Dennis F in the building. LT in the building. Yup. I'm going to talk about that, bro. I'm going to talk about that, LT. I'm going to talk about that. Believe you me. I'm going to play the soundbite for you guys to react to it and get your thoughts on it. Couple of talking points I want to talk about in this morning's Boxing Talks. One is Edgar Berlanga has in fact been fined and suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission for attempting to turn Romer Angulo into a Puerto Rican. He bit him on the neck in the hopes that by the next full moon, he would turn Puerto Rican. Now, we don't know if that's going to happen, but we do know that the Nevada State Athletic Commission has fined him for it. I believe it's something to the tune of $10,000. So that's definitely, and he had it coming. Though when you think about a 6-month suspension in a sport where the average fighter has 6 months between fights, it's a slap on the wrist. It's a slap on the wrist, like, oh, he doesn't get to fight for 6 months. Well, he wasn't going to fight for 6 months anyway, in New York at that. He stunk out the Hulu Theater. They showed the numbers for Berlanga versus Rolls and Berlanga versus Angulo. And there is a noticeable decline. I believe there were 800 less people at the Angulo fight than the Rolls fight. And this because it was kind of obvious that they did a good job promoting him as a young unbeaten up-and-comer. They did do a good job promoting him. People became familiar with him very fast, but his development as a fighter and his abilities have not caught up to the buzz that they created, that, oh, he's 16 rounds, 16 knockouts, 16 fights, first-round knockouts. Yeah, but he's not getting any rounds in the bank. And I raised this as a legitimate concern over a year ago, that when he goes in there and he knocks a guy out in 1 or 2 rounds, he doesn't get those rounds in the bank to work on his jab and his movement and his defense under the hot lights. Those are rounds that he's not getting in the bank. So while it makes for a nice little highlight reel of knockouts, he's not going to learn anything from that. He's not going to develop. And now that he's entering into a place where the guys don't just lay down, they don't just fall down when you hit them, he's struggling, and a lot of people are watching him struggle because of the buzz that they created, the buzz they created from the knockouts. It's a vicious cycle. And I'm going to open it up to everybody, get everybody's thoughts. And y'all know the rules of engagement. Don't talk over each other, one at a time. It's very irritating to hear 2, 3, 4 people trying to talk at the same time. And yeah, man. And shout out to Mr. PBC. Send me some more of your money, bro. Canelo. Let's talk about some Canelo. Maybe that'll draw him out. The thing that people hate about Canelo Alvarez is he's everything that their favorite fighter aspires to be. Ambitious and young and wealthy and driven. He's making all this goddamn money. And people hate him for it. They hate him. And we got Eson in the building.
Morning, my brother. What's going on?
You gonna give me that money?
Part of me, Julius, a big part of me was like, if Gennady fucking loses, this motherfucker's gonna be able to say he took my bread now. Don't get his and the whole, bro. Honestly, bro, the whole Loki, the whole time I was like, damn,
Bro,
just
I
for the
was just
fucking.
using it. I was
No,
just
I
using
know, I
it
know.
as an excuse to play 80s music, bro. Like you
Dude,
saw
no,
my
that
shit?
song. That's yo. You got a playlist? Can you send me? Because
Bro, I'll
yo,
send you the shit. I
no,
got a
yeah,
whole
please,
80s playlist, bro.
yeah, please, because you know the song I played. No, this is good. I fucking love those old songs. That shit was
Bro,
good.
I grew up on them.
And it's
They,
coming for you. That shit was
they
great.
put me in a great, like, I play them songs. This, music definitely influences the mind, because if you play the right stuff at the right time, when you wake up, if you wake up to good music, you're in a good mood when you wake up. So I go back to a lot of the 80s shit, the upbeat shit, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
might listen to a little techno, because you know what I don't listen to no more? I don't listen to hip hop no more. I can't.
I can't
Yeah,
blame you,
yeah.
bro. I can't blame you because
Julius,
even for only built for the Cuban links, bro. That shit is dark, bro. Like I don't always want to listen to that shit.
It's
But
not but it's not the darkness. It's that from a artistic standpoint, it's trash, bro. The music now is garbage. Like, nah, that shit is garbage, bro. It's like it's not.
But if we look at hip hop, if you really think about it, Gene Simmons said this. Basically, hip hop is copy and paste. We not writing sheets out of music. We're not
No,
telling
that's
the
not
business.
true. That's not true. That's a gross
it's much worse
understatement.
now. It's much
That's a
worse now.
that's a gross understatement of what hip hop is, because if you understand music, you understand that even your voice box, the pitch
I
of your
know.
voice, and how you conjugate and how you say things, that is a musical instrument.
You
And
know that.
you could use that to add to a melody, to add to something. So to call it copy and paste, I feel like that was a cheap shot. Or if you're gonna relegate hip hop, like if Gene Simmons of Kiss, for those that don't know, if Gene Simmons is gonna relegate hip hop to simply being copy and paste, we could say that about every genre of music that ever existed, because they all borrow from each other. They all do.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, a lot of them can say we have original compositions that we use instruments and we have to, do chord changes. We have to do things that hip hoppers don't do. Let's
I
keep it
don't. You
above.
know why I don't
If
agree with, and you know why I don't agree with that, because Gene Simmons ain't sitting around writing lyrics, is he?
I feel you.
Huh?
I feel you.
In
But,
other words,
well,
in,
understand
in other
this.
words, I
If it
think he's
wasn't, if
overstating. I think he's overstating. It's not that it's not different. No, it is different. Of course, it takes work. But to say that it's like, in other words, you can't. Well, there was a time where you actually had to be good. I don't think you have to be very good now, to be honest.
No.
but
Listen,
if you want to be a superstar, you're always going to have to be good.
I'm
That's just law.
I'm from I'm a young buck. I'm coming up with this garbage, dude. I literally don't. My playlist has probably like 3 hip hop songs and like older hip hop songs, because it's dude, it's kind of, it's just ass now. Like there's no feel. Like,
Originality, there's no
I don't know.
nothing.
Yeah,
It's not
it's like
originality. They're not trying.
yes,
They're not
exactly. It's like
trying.
they don't care what they're putting out. So it's like I like music that has like something in it. Like that song, nothing's gonna. I love that song because like this, it's like it hits. That's some real shit. But now it's just like, like come on, it's just
You know
ass,
what it sound
bro.
like? It sound like. See, the reason I look, drug use in music is normal, right? So that motherfuckers is high when they writing it. I don't care about none of that moral shit. What I want is just good content,
Music.
good music. And it's like when Metallica, when they was on their alcohol and drug shit, the music was great. Exit, that's my shit. I still listen to that shit, right? And
Enter the Sandman. Like,
the
nigga, that shit is
I love
ridiculous.
that shit. Carpe Diem, all that shit. Load, reload. I love all that shit. And they was on drugs, so it's not like I'm turning my nose up at today's junkies in music. It's that it's literally, when I hear it, I hear an engineer that is very talented and an artist that is not talented. Most of the contemporary artists that I hear now that I believe are talented are women. Most of them. Doja Cat is super talented, classically trained, but she could spit, like she could rap like on some real shit. Nah, bitch. Bitch, I'm a
You
cow.
you like her. You like her voice and you like her body, bro.
Ooh, it ain't not just on some music shit. Like she got it. Like she really got
Musically, yes, but bar for bar, no. Musically, how she composes
who's
is
bar right now. These sad motherfuckers like Kendrick Lamar, his depressing ass. Who?
Dude,
J.
Kendrick,
Cole and his depressing ass.
Kendrick Lamar disappointed me his last album.
Yeah,
Right, he been disappointing me. I've been saying he overrated. I've been saying that, like, and I'm gonna keep. And motherfuckers not gonna like it, but I'm gonna keep. Like, bro, you come on, B. You Nas. You like a vegan Nas.
You didn't fuck with
You hate Nas so much,
You
bro.
didn't fuck with J. Cole.
You
didn't fuck with J. Cole's 2014.
I did. I look. I'm not gonna lie. I like that album, but please remember when you bring up an album like that, you know what immediately comes to mind. Wiz Khalifa, Rolling Papers. I could listen to that album from front to back. I cannot listen to Forest Hills Drive front to back. I'm gonna end up feeling sad by the end of the when Wiz shit. Man, that's my shit. I love that shit. All right, and Wiz make happy music for people like me that's just riding the wave. Like these motherfuckers.
You're vibing.
I'm vibe. Like I'm not. I ain't go to the music so I could be. Well, I ain't going front. Sometimes when I would draw, right? When I was on my drawing shit, I would listen to a lot of dark shit because it would evoke the right emotions to get what I want to get out of the drawing or the character that I'm making or the story that I'm writing. So it's not that I didn't listen to dark shit, but generally when I listen to music, it's just a vibe, yo. It's not to think about, like he talking about his college tuition. And the girls that didn't give him no play, J. Cole, I think it was. It's like, I don't want to listen to that bullshit. I don't care if you couldn't pay your Pell Grant or whatever. I don't care, bro. The fuck? Can somebody get shot in the song so I could get excited? Like,
yo, bro, you come from a really dark place in Harlem, bro. So that's why you asking for someone to get shot.
Because I like Styles. Here's why they call me the ghost. I'm half live, half dead. When it's beat, I bring all of the ghosts in. Got more guns than most ghosts. So I don't gotta say shit. Ghosts of a talk.
Ignorant nigga.
No.
What?
Right? Right?
Yeah, I gotta chill because niggas is mad.
Yo, but you see the effect that just had on us, that we go through the lyrics to give us the energy and we in a good mood, the endorphins come out. That's music, bro. That's what music is good for. And that's kind of why I was thinking about going getting FL. Like, it don't cost nothing. It's only $200. It's more the time that goes into making a good beat, that it is time consuming. Like, it's not like you just going. Yeah, it's time consuming, you know what I mean? But we'll see, man, because 9 times out of 10, when I say I'm going to do some shit, I do end up doing it. It just takes a while, but I do end up doing it.
Nah, I need you to chop up some break beats. I need some soul samples from you. I need a little bit, some.
Well, that's the main reason I want to get it, is because I like Boney M Boney. I like
I like that too. I like that jazz guy, Rick Braun, Washington Jr.
And I don't want to use things that actually belong to anybody. I know how to do it myself to deconstruct and reconstruct the shit to where it's completely from scratch. It's not from anybody, but it'll be the same melody and the same melodic progression and same kicks, same snares, same everything, but not copyrighted. Feel me? So I want to do that because I love 70s shit too. I love that 70s shit. That's that cocaine flow.
Yeah, man, that's how Bobaina. But let's get down to business. Why Lou DiBella, Don King, Leonard Ellaby, they're all this,
because they small time. Let me just say this. I got a lot of respect for Lou DiBella. I got a lot of respect for Bob Arum, obviously. I got a lot of respect for a lot of the promoters and what they've been doing. And Lou DiBella in particular, because he's been a big advocate for women in boxing. He held several shows. He was doing it before a lot of people, right?
That's a fact.
But on a much lower level. And the main thing that I see, I listen to it. For those that haven't heard the soundbite, I'll play it for you guys, and you could I'll play it and let the people in the comments react, because I'm sure Isan heard it already.
Nah, I actually didn't, honestly. I was gonna ask if you could.
I got you right now.
I mean, maybe let me hear it.
Honestly, there's a reason you said Ellerby and whatever. It's everyone with Eddie a little bit, because Eddie's not a great winner, and he's not a very easy person to do business with. He's he understands the in effect sort of monopoly. Well, it's not a monopoly, but the situation he has where if you want on to the DAZN platform, it flows through him, and he takes every advantage of it, and he's a bit of a bully.
And I wanted to stop right there just for a second.
What? He's a bully? Really? Can I talk to you?
Let me say this. Let me say
All
this.
right, cool.
When he says that, I'm thinking, would you be any different if the roles were reversed? Would you be any different if you're financing a show and you have the platform and you have all the things or whatever? Would it be any different if it were Lou in that position or Bob in that position or Oscar in that position? And that's what makes it sound like, you know what? Maybe he is being a bully, but he's being no more of a bully than you would be if you were him. So why are you crying about it?
He's
We've seen
monopolizing
it though. No, we've seen it though. We've seen how when Bob Arum, Don King, and Lou DiBella were when they had that HBO money and everything was funneled through them. It's sour grapes. Now remember, this is all emotionalism. These guys feel a type of way because they weren't chose. They're acting like bitches,
I
straight up and
agree.
down.
Let
They're
me
acting like straight bitch ass niggas. But like, let me finish this up because I know I can be long winded. Eddie Hearn exposed the improprieties of these American promoters for the longest of time, and now everyone has to pay the piper. Think about it. Javante Tank Davis lost $8 million to fight a guy that he could have potentially knocked out. But he was so daft and so dumb to stay with these guys who don't have his best interests at heart. Like, this is what these people have been doing. Now people are starting to see, hey, I can make a lot more money. But now they're cornering off the market. They're saying, hey, oh, you don't want to play our game, Devin Haney? Well, you're not going to get that title shot unless you come to our way. And they're doing some strong arm tactics, but they got to understand Devin Haney's only going to be there for 2 more fights, and he's going right back to the zone.
I don't even know because I don't like. You know why I don't make bold claims about that? Because Top Rank does have the run of the place at 135 and 140. They got a lot of guys for him to fight. So if he were to decide to stay there and says, well, I'm undisputed at lightweight already, I would like to see about a Teofimo Lopez fight. If he can get himself together. You know what I mean?
Think about it like this, Jules. When he was the email champion, he was making more money when he was the quote-unquote email champion on the zone from a foreign promoter than he was getting as from Americans. You know what Leonard Ellaby said? Oh, that was a lot of money he was making over there.
That's
and
true.
he was saying, it was basically saying that, like, look at this motherfucker. Sure, he fucked with Floyd and everything, but hey, you're supposed to rock with us Americans. I don't care how dysfunctional and how fickle we are. You're gonna rock with us, otherwise you're gonna feel the consequences.
The way I look at it, before I pass it to Boxing Combat and play the rest of the soundbite, I equate it to a fucked up dysfunctional family. The relationship that these American boxing promoters have, because in reality, another platform injecting money into the sport of boxing creates opportunities for the fighters who need it most. They need those opportunities. You know what I mean? The more channels or the more platforms that are showing boxing, the more opportunities they'll offer different fighters to get paid and showcase what they could do. You know what I mean? Not just the males, but also the females. So let me go to Boxing Combat. Boxing Combat, you heard that little bit of stuff that Lou DiBella said about Eddie Hearn. What you think about that?
I'm just tuning in. I didn't necessarily hear anything about Lou DiBella and Eddie Hearn, but I'm hearing you guys talking about the Devin Haney contract and all of that. So Bob Arum said not too long ago that he has a couple of fights lined up for him. And I'm like, wait a minute. Bob, didn't you just say that he rematches Kambosos and then he defends his titles against Loma and that's it? We're all these. So I really don't know what Bob Arum is trying to do right now. I think they're trying to trap Devin in.
Not trap him. You know, I wouldn't
sound like it though.
No, trap is not the right word. Trap is not the right word. What they're trying to acquire is talent, which is no different than what Eddie Hearn did when DAZN debuted in America. Where it becomes, I guess, ethically ambiguous is, you said he was on, Bob said this 2.5 years ago. Oh, Devin's on the wrong side of the street. He said that. So now you're in the Devin Haney business, and all of a sudden he's this guy that you're going to inject money and you're going to promote him. But before you acted like nobody needed him. And what that displays is how, look, to some degree, a lot of these guys are part of the problem. Not just Al, Bob to some extent too, yeah. Bivol wants to be undisputed. You talking about an Anthony Yard fight, at the end of the year for the winner of this weekend's fight. You're not talking about undisputed. You're talking about an Anthony Yard fight. You are going against the grain because what we, the consumers, want is the winner of that fight, if it's Artur, to fight Bivol. If Artur wins, and I think he's going to, I like the Yard fight. It's an all right fight. I do like the fight, but I like the Bivol fight better.
That's an easier fight than Joe Smith to me. So it's like, it's kind of like, But yeah, I mean, Bob is gonna do all this in-house shit, whatever he can, and then if he has, and then because after Joe and Yard, there's nothing. What are you gonna tell me? You're gonna have Artur fighting randoms as if he's getting paid a check. If Bivol gets by Zerto, if Canelo does his thing with Golovkin and they fight again next year, that is the fight. What bigger fight is there than Bivol?
Exactly.
I think Bob I think a part of him is like I want to see Bivol Canelo again because he wants Canelo to win a bit, obviously, because the chance
maybe.
But I know it's like he's not trying to pay all that money, but it's like again, Bivol Canelo, it's like
because Bob was the guy that when Canelo became a free agent, Bob's liver spots couldn't give two fucks about it. He didn't try, bro. Like he's. Showtime tried and DAZN tried and Matchroom to do business with him. Bob couldn't give two fucking fucks. Smoking his joint, got his liver spots, don't give a shit. And I always found that curious that also you don't want to bring him over to ESPN? And to Isan's point, which is a very valid point, do you think Bob wants to guarantee him $40 million?
I was going to say that, just you took the words right out my mouth because real talk, Bob, as savvy as he is in terms of the law and in terms of finance, he understands that Canelo's big business. He understands Canelo commandeers a market that, pays for fights. He understands that from Barrero to Morales to Marquez, the people that he's been working with, he knows what that contingent of fan brings. And if you're not going to pay Canelo the same way, you don't want Canelo start talking about you in a negative way. And already, you're in advanced age. You're in the 90s right now. You don't want to be stressed out like that, and you don't want to have something that you built that you actually stole from a black man, but neither here nor there, objectively speaking, to crumble. So that's why he stopped. Now, think about it. He's short time in it. He's like he nickel and dominate with Terence Crawford comparative to Canelo because he understood the Crawford business wasn't as lucrative as that business, but I can control you.
But when you bring up somebody like Crawford, right? See, this is where we don't agree on that. Crawford should have been able to make money because he's not he's not a boring fighter. Anybody that tells me Crawford is boring, I'm like, bro, have you seen him fight? He's one of the strongest finishers in the sport, not just welterweight in the sport. He's one of the strongest finishers.
That dude is one of the strongest dudes from 135, 140, and 147. Bro, let's keep it a buck, bro. Duran, he's doing Duran level type shit. I'm not saying in terms of caliber of fighter, but what 135-pound dude have you seen go up to 40, knock out damn near everybody he faced outside of post style, and go up to 47 and knock out everybody, bro? That's scary, B. But at the end of the day, Crawford has to deal with this. When you are of a melanin complected type guy, if you don't have a personality,
that's not it.
That's sellable.
No, that's not it. Let's not be cheap. That's not it.
I'm not being cheap.
Right? That's being cheap. That's being cheap because at the end of the day, it's not because of this. It's not. Because Mike Tyson was a draw. Last I checked, he ain't my complexion.
But Mike Tyson was entertaining.
Bro, we can't keep Crawford's not entertaining.
Outside of the ring, Mike Tyson was a fucking shit show.
Here's what fucked things up for Crawford, and I have to go back to this because if I don't, it obscures the past. What stifled Crawford, whose viewership was actually great before he moved up to 147, and even when he got there, the Jose Benavidez fight was the most watched fight in any combat. Bro, let me talk. My bad. It was the most watched fight in any combat sport that whole year. Nothing. And I'm talking about mixed martial arts also because that's what they said. There was no fight that was watched as much as that fight. His numbers were fine. Where did things go wrong? When Al Heyman froze him out. That's where things went wrong. If he was doing great, undisputed, he beat the fuck out of Jeff Horn, he beat the fuck out of Jose Benavidez, the numbers was up until he couldn't get the fights that he needed. It was never about this. It was never about this.
Hey, Jules, the reason why I brought that up is because, hey, I know black people who subscribe to the PBC way of thinking, and they look at Terence Crawford as, oh, this guy just, he's boring. He does this, he does that. At least with Errol Spence, he's entertaining. He's outside. He's in the
but the guys the guys that you're talking about do not represent paying customers in the sport of boxing, because if they did, the Porter fight would have sold. It was those guys that you're talking about that demanded that Crawford fight Sean Porter. And when he did they buy the fight? No. You know who bought the fight?
You and I, because I have the receipt too. But I'm just saying that because unfortunately, the people that froze him out, Al Heyman and them, Al Heyman has a monopoly on those type of people's minds. And I know they don't buy fights. I understand that. But those people are going to be the barrier to that fight, unfortunately. And the reason why I brought up Terence Crawford in terms of Canelo, those are the factors that Terence Crawford has to deal with. But Canelo has a more clearer market. He has a fan base that's already set in. He's an entertaining fighter, and that fan base pays for fights. That's just all I was trying to say.
And all I'm saying is, well, Canelo got to have the fights, the undisputed fights that he wanted, that Crawford was deprived of.
That's a fact. That's true.
He got Golovkin whenever he wanted him.
Yeah.
He's been waiting how many years? 4?
Look, there are content creators and people in the business that thrive I don't even want to say thrive, because business-wise, they're not actually doing great, but they promote the division in the sport of boxing. If Crawford's numbers took a sharp decline, if it seemed like he had a buzz from 2017 to 2018, and then in 2019 it slowly dissipated, it is because he was frozen out. It's not because of this. It's not because he's boring. It's not because he's, when he goes on the Breakfast Club, he's not charismatic, because so long as you're having fights, the other stuff doesn't matter. Canelo was never that talkative in the beginning, but his numbers were always great. He sold 300 and something with Liam Smith, 300 and something with Erislandy Lara. You got motherfuckers now that's supposed to be exciting. They can't hit fucking 300,000. He did that with them, and he was never talkative. He's only now becoming talkative. So it's not, spare me the charisma thing. What it really is people don't want to assign the blame where the blame belongs, because the blame belongs to people that look like them. What, because they look like them, we're not supposed to hold them responsible? He was frozen out by an American-based promoter. Is that not the truth? Is that not the truth?
A black man at that too.
So it's never going to be that, I've heard it that, and it would help. I'm not even going to lie to you that, if you have a charismatic personality and you're exciting and vibrant like me, people are going to gravitate towards you. Of course, if you're exciting.
This motherfucker put that in like me.
I'm like a Swiss Army knife. I make beats, I make videos, I watch boxing, I tell jokes. It's fucking beautiful. But everybody's not like that. And more importantly,
that's a fact.
Crawford should not. I get it that you don't do yourself any favors if you're not charismatic, but at the same time, he's a fucking fighter, not a stand-up comedian, not a joker, not a musician. He's a fighter, and he's doing his job. He fights, and he wins, and he does it in great fashion, by the way, to where you don't have to argue after the fight, all right? It's the manager's job and the promoter's job to promote him, but they can only do so much when he's being frozen out. And that was always his problem. He was being frozen out. That didn't change. What happened in the past does not change based on the present. Oh yeah, he's not being frozen out now because he's a fucking free agent. But for the last 4 years, he wasn't frozen out. He wasn't frozen out. They offered Danny Garcia a fight. Danny wanted Adrian Granados and Ivan Redkach. They offered Keith Thurman a fight. On camera, he said they offered him a fight, that ESPN contacted him. And it's like, okay, they offered you to fight when you were going to fight Manny. But if you really wanted to smoke with Crawford, you could have caught them back after Manny beat you, because there were 2 years after Manny beat you. And what you've been doing? Interviews.
And fighting the dude, the Spanish Avatar, basically.
Bro, word, he do look like the Spanish Avatar too, bro. But let me play the rest of this soundbite so we can hear Lou DiBella crying.
Work with if you're on the other side of a street or not in his corporate sphere. So, I mean, Eddie spent an entire week. He had other fights going on, shitting all over, worrying about Devin Haney. Well, sorry, if you went to zone, put up the right situation, Devin Haney would have stayed there. Devin Haney went to the better opportunity. Devin Haney didn't do a deal with me and Aaron because.
Now, let me champ this shit. When he's talking about negotiating a situation, he's not saying why DAZN backed out. DAZN wanted the Australian rights for the fight because if anybody wanted to see that fight, it would be in Australia more than any other place. And Lou wanted to negotiate a situation to where they have their own distributor in Australia, so DAZN won't get the rights. And this is the kind of stuff that they don't say, that, well, if you're not going to get the Australian rights for the fight, that's the bulk of the cash for the fight. What the fuck we going to do it for then? The fuck we going to do it for?
And they think people don't understand that. They think we're so dumb. Like, I don't know why Lou would say something like that. You know that the similar thing to what happened to Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney was going to get frozen out. And Devin Haney did what he was supposed to do, not to get frozen out. This shit is corny. Like, at the end of the day, if American promoters were doing the right thing, making sure these fighters were getting paid correctly, they would be under American promotions. But hey, HBO got out of the boxing business. Showtime severely limited their cards. Fox has limited their cards. I don't even think they have cards on CBS
well, I think
anymore.
they got one coming up. I think Fox has. I heard some old bullshit about Fox doing a card.
But at the end of the day, look how they treat American fighters, man. They think it's a niche and it's a novelty. And think about it. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson was built off of, terrestrial television. We don't even give them the same, latitude like we did the fighters of yesteryear. They're overly critical, and the guys that who do well, they try to find some other nonsense about them. Because think about it, let's really look at it. There was a lot of these old school guys that propagated these Eastern Europeans, and now they wanted to shit on all the American fighters. Now they see the American market.
Can I say
this?
There's a reason for that. Like, it's not one way. And who Mike is crackling like that?
Is that me?
I don't know. I hear Mike crackling.
I'm on mute, so.
Yeah, you on mute. It's not your mic. I think it's Boxing Combat's mic. What I'm gonna say is the reason that they gravitated towards the Eastern Europeans, and people always interpret that as being a slight against American fighters when it's not. The Eastern Europeans entered amateur boxing. They started winning medals and showing that they could box and be entertaining. So they gave them a platform. It's that simple. Nobody correlates the decline in American medalists and Eastern European medalists. Nobody correlates that, but that's what it is, though. All right. You have more guys abroad, more girls too, winning medals in Olympic boxing than you have Americans. And nobody made the connection that, maybe that's why they started bringing over Eastern Euros. It's not just, oh, yeah, we don't like you, so we're not going to. No. It's because they can box. And Americans struggle with the idea that that people can box really well from other countries. It's not just, we didn't invent it, in other words. The Brits actually invented the boxing that we know, and they don't want to give them credit. They don't want to give them credit for that. When the Marcus Queensberry rules is from where? Because it ain't from the United States. We got Tony Manzano in the building. Tony, you hear Lou DiBella. He's calling Eddie a bully. Is that what he is?
No. And I want to respond to what you were talking about earlier. This is the issue as well. You see the decline of producing top-level Olympic fighters for America. It's because these American trainers are very egotistical. They don't want to bring in a European trainer to teach these kids because
Tony, speak into your mic a little more because you sound a little bit far away.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. The reason why is I feel that these American trainers have huge egos, and they feel the American style is the best best style in boxing, and they don't want to have one of these European trainers or some of these Russian.
Well, Tony's mic's going in and out, but I think he was making a valid point because
That is true.
I saw somebody, I think it was Beats. He asked which style is the best style, and most people voted the American style. And when I saw the poll, I'm like, well, these people that are voting must not be taking a head count of the number of champions or the number of Olympic medalists in the sport right now, because we're not ahead of the curve. I don't know why so many Americans think we are. No, we're not.
Can you hear me now? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
what I was saying before StreamYards kicked me out, it seems like the American trainers, the mentality of these American trainers specifically is that they feel that the American style is the dominant style in the sport when it is really not. You look at the Russian style, which is like the Cuban style, and then the Eastern European style seem to be more successful. And these American trainers Eagles are getting in the way of improving their fighters. That's why you don't see a lot of top level American Olympic fighters. You guys agree?
I agree with that because anybody who's been keeping up with Olympic boxing, just to any extent, at least to the extent to where you're keeping track of where the medals are going in men's boxing, in women's boxing, bro, it's kind of obvious that no, we're not ahead of the curve. And if you're still telling yourself that the American style is the best style in boxing right now, you're living in a bubble. You'd have to be, because who's the dominant American fighter or American champion at light heavyweight? Who's the dominant American fighter at either cruiserweight, bridgerweight, or heavyweight? Who?
No,
Julius,
is the guy
it's you.
Wait, I have a question. Is the guy at Bridgerweight American?
Nope.
Champion?
Nope. There's only one, and he's from Colombia by way of Canada.
Okay. But wouldn't you consider that North American?
No, because his blood, right, is from Colombia. He only lives in Canada. His promoter's based out of Canada, but he is Colombian. He looks like Van Damme, but with a baldy.
Yo, you funny as shit. What's wrong with you?
Hit the gong! No!
So, and IQ, I wanted to ask you guys this question also is, do you think, how much power really does Floyd have to make these big fights? And do you think that's why Tank is having maybe a sort of split with him? Because he promised him a whole bunch of these big fights, and he's not pulling through for these big fights that he promised Tank and stuff like that.
I would say, yeah, that mic, man, it's just driving me nuts. I would say, Floyd knows what he has. The matchmakers know what they have, and they know what Tank's limitations are. I want to say this. Tank is not a bad fighter. He's not. He has some ring savvy. He can hit, at least from 130 to 135. I believe he's got some power that you don't want to let him land clean. But they know what they have, and that's why the matchmaking is the way it is. I promise you, if he ever fought Shakur Stevenson, people would be in awe of how limited Gervonta really is, because he's capitalizing off mistakes. He's not like a Shakur Stevenson can create opportunities with what he's doing. Vasyl Lomachenko can create, even that's saying that they could be fighting a guy that's a defensively responsible fighter, protects themselves well, keeps those elbows tucked, that chin down, those hands high. He does not get hit with stupid fucking punches. They could be fighting a guy like that, and they'll create an avenue of opportunity to get off something, right? Whereas what Davis is doing is he's fighting guys that are so that they make mistakes, and he's good enough to capitalize on those mistakes. Good enough.
So you think if he fights do you think? This is an honest question. If Tank fights Teal, the Teal that fought Loma, not the Teal that fought Cambodia.
If it's the Teal that fought Loma that was inspired, I'd go Teofimo.
Me too.
And
with Joey Dimash in his corner. With Joe, yes, I'd go Teofimo.
Does Tank stand a chance against any of them?
Ryan destroys Tank? You guys think Ryan destroys Tank too?
No.
Nope. I got Tank sleeping Ryan bad.
Does
Yo,
Tank even
Ryan.
stand a chance against Haney?
I
No,
would see. This is the thing about Haney, who I like his boxing. A lot of people, I just like what he does because it's like this is the textbook style. You know, great jab, great half step back. He's not so far out there that he's way out there. He's close enough to get back in, pop you, and get back. It's great. You know what I mean? The drawback for Devin is punch resistance. That's the drawback. That I don't know how good you're going to be able to take a punch continually at 135 because most people don't notice he's very big for 135 and he's young. His body is growing. So his boxing, I'd pick him to beat Tank, right? And well, I don't even want to say. It's like I feel, yeah, you got the style to beat Tank. You got the jab to beat him. You got the speed and the movement, but the punch resistance is kind of like
That
and he has the
inside
IQ,
shit, he likes.
and
To
he has the
try,
IQ
like,
too.
Devin has the
Yeah.
style, but he might fuck around and try to do his little prove. You know how he likes to try to prove people a point, dude. That's like I don't rate Tank's power super huge, but I know he can crack enough to if he touches Devin with something.
Devin's
like
5'9", guys, bro.
if Canelo touches Golovkin with something in September, I know exactly what
I
you
think
mean.
if Golovkin touches Canelo with something in September, I know it's gonna happen.
I don't know. He touched Murata a couple of times, and Murata, you know, he took the shots, took a lot.
Hey, that's 1.5 the average human skull.
To have an argument. You know, I just want to say good morning, happy Thursday. Weekend's almost
So-
here. Oh, the bloodbath is almost here. You know,
What
between
bloodbath? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't wait for Saturday. I'm driving up there at 8:00. Ronnie's gonna be there. Steve Kim gonna be there.
Yo, y'all gotta take
where's
a
this
group
gonna be at?
picture. Y'all gotta take a group picture.
Maybe I'm not really a photo guy, but maybe I'll get one.
Listen, you take a group picture and you say, "Welcome to the relay, bro." Y'all be in the intro. I swear to God, I'll pay
you
y'all.
know
You
what?
want
That sounds like a good
$24?
idea.
Welcome to the relay where we're covering today's top boxing
Top boxing
news.
news.
Real
No,
shit,
ow. Yeah.
Ow! I don't want to do it because my wife and kids are still
can't, bro.
sleeping.
Voice
They
is
still
up.
in the bed.
My voice. Ow! You sound like you stubbed your toe. Ow!
Real shit. But like,
Fuck.
let's talk some Smith. Let's talk some better beef. I want to start with Isan, right? As short as you can. Who do you have winning the fight?
I got Joe. I'm wilding. I'm wilding.
Bro.
No, hell no. I got Artur. I think Joe's only gonna have success when the rounds start because they'll be starting, of course, at mid-range, long range. I think that's what Joe's best shots are. He's kind of like Wilder, where he likes his long shots, you know. And I think Artur, he's a one-inch punch kind of guy. So I think each round is gonna look like Joe coming out being really aggressive, pushing the pace on Artur. But I think slowly Artur after like round 2 or 3 is gonna getting inside on him. And once he gets inside, I don't think Joe's gonna really have any offense because Joe doesn't have a short uppercut.
He doesn't.
An uppercut would be great versus Artur, by the way. He has a long left hook. Remember that Vlasov left hook he hit him, but that shit was like a long one when Vlasov was coming in.
Yeah.
So I don't see any inside work from Joe that's gonna stop Artur from bullying him. I see Joe being really aggressive, pushing Artur back, kind of like how Callum Johnson did for a bit. I think it's gonna look a lot like the Johnson fight. But I think Joe's gonna have less success just because Artur's already been there and he got dropped. Artur's not gonna make the same mistake. But I think he lays into him after like 3 or 4 rounds. Joe's gonna be getting worked on the inside to the body, mostly to the body, because he's a tough son of a bitch to the head. I don't know if Artur can stop him to the head. I really don't. But I think he could start shelling up and getting battered to the body and probably get stopped like around 6 or 8.
Chris, you heard what Steve Kim said the last time he was here. He said that Artur, he's big puncher. Guy's getting up there in age. He doesn't necessarily blast guys out right away. When you hear that, do you think that Joe has a chance?
I love my fellow Long Islander. I've seen this guy spar in front of me. He sparred a guy named Kajana in Freeport. But, besides that, I don't see him being Artur because as old as Artur is, if you're not skillful enough to beat him, you're not beating him. And I understand Artur doesn't blast people out like he once did. The one thing about Artur's power, it sticks on you. It sticks on you like polygrip. Like he hits you and boom, you're hit. And it's not like you're going to, shake it off. Those punches and how power is set up, it lingers for rounds and rounds and rounds. Like look at Marcus Brown, like he got hit with so much, got knocked down. And going to what Isan was saying about the body work,
but hold on,
Chris,
Marcus fought a fight that Joe is not going to. Well, there's a few things. One, Marcus is a southpaw, so he leads with his right, moves to his right. Joe's orthodox, leads with his left, moves to his left, and Marcus uses the perimeter of the ring. Joe's not going to do that. Because Joe's coming forward, what do you envision?
Okay, if Joe's going to come forward, Joe has to come forward with a very educated jab, class 1-2 that comes back to his face. That's the only way, because if he can push Arthur back, he has a better chance of winning. But I think Beterbiev's
Mike's going in and out.
Damn, all y'all have a mic today, huh?
Everybody got mic issues, man. Except East with the clear Wi-Fi.
All right, shit. Clear, no trees, no fucking trees.
Got the Golovkin Wi-Fi. I dig it.
Eat a dick, bro. Eat a dick.
Yo, so I seen yesterday, right? I don't, one of the guys on Twitter, they sent me this, right? Just brief break from the boxing. They sent me something about Art Fart that he was getting cooked yesterday.
Oh man.
Listen, Isan, I don't be knowing about none of this shit unless somebody tell me, because I don't you already know, I don't mingle with them, so I'm like, I don't
man. So bro, he got battered. He got battered.
Look, the shit that they sent me, right? The dude told him, yo, he got a real Jada situation.
Yes.
His girl is posting about her dad ex, and he over here, and he like, I was like, yo, wow, bro.
Lefty was like, he better get that shit tested. That's probably he's a real life cuck, because there's probably some other man's kid he watched get his girl pregnant. I'm like, damn.
Let me ask Virtuoso, you got a joint, you bust a couple of nuts in there, right? You put a blunt in the oven, you be busting nuts in there, right? But she be TikToking, posting like musical tributes to her ex-hubby. I mean, like what the hell are we talking about here? Like, is that?
Oh, I didn't even know he had a significant other. I mean, he's kind of strikes me as an antisocial. I thought he sent like Mike Tyson a fucking dick pic or something.
What
I just think that dude got mental problems, man, and that dude, like, I don't know.
He would have sent Wilder one, probably, to be real. More likely Wilder than Tyson.
I'm just because look, and I don't mean to fan the flame, but like I said, and I can show you guys. I'll send you the DM East on that. This is stuff that gets sent to me. I really do try to stay out of this because I'm too old and too important to get wrapped up in this stuff. Like I'm above this, and I'm too classy for this bullshit. But I can't lie that it was funny as hell when I read the shit that was sent to me. I was like, wow, bro, the gloves came off.
They were calling him a super cuck on there, bro. I was like,
because that is some cuck shit, though.
Nah, it is. Bro.
It's wild. You know what's
worse? You know what? Facts. What the fuck is you cuck? You cuck?
This is real cuck shit,
Twitter, bro. When he types in caps on Twitter, dude, I'd be fucking in tears.
It's cuck shit, bro.
There's videos of her shaking her ass on her TikTok and shit, and like Lefty sent. I'm like, damn.
Bro, look.
Fuck, bro.
In the spirit of Capricornian excellence, I've seen the joint, and like I said, I'll say now what I said before, that I'm not gonna say nothing bad, right? Because person didn't do nothing to me, but like, yo, that dude is just, I don't know, maybe he has a humiliation kink, like that he likes to be humiliated, whatever it takes to get attention. You know what I mean? Maybe it's one of those kind of deals, because it's like, bro, this dude is something. I don't know, man. Let me read the super chat. The fight with Artur gets rougher as the rounds go on. Don't see any guys other than B-Ball maybe holding up under that pressure. The only guy that I could have thought of that I felt might have been somewhat formidable is Maxim Vlasov. Because he's so big. He used to campaign as
That's
a
a great
cruiserweight.
fight. That's a great fight too.
But he fucking retired, bro.
I know, man.
This is
fucking. They robbed him, and Joe, and they nah. I don't
no. I mean, look, you're not the only one. For what it's worth, you're not the only one. I saw a lot of people saying they split the fight for Vlasov.
I was actually on the space last night because I've been talking about this fight because it's about to pop up. It's been the main topic, and I was talking about the Vlasov fight, and I was talking about how Joe. I think Vlasov let off too much at the end of that fight, and Joe he got a little bit of a second win, and he came back rounds 11, 12 and hurt Vlasov. It was really close, and that's a close fight. I don't really do the rivalry.
Look, how going into the fight, most people would probably pick Artur to stop Vlasov, the perception. But what intrigues me about the fight is, look, this is not a guy that's limited to boxing on the front foot or the back foot. He can do both, and he's big. So that might take something off of the damage that other fighters take, that this guy can fight going forwards, fight going backwards, fight moving lateral. He's very big, very awkward. I could see Artur catching him with like just a stupid punch later on in the fight, but I would very much like to see how does Artur deal with somebody like this, because this is not an easy guy. It's not.
Damn, bro. Fuck, man. Vlasov was a good addition to the division.
I don't know why the fuck he retired, bro. I really wanted to see him in more fights, and that shit made me mad, bro. I like Vlasov.
I would have loved to see fucking Vlasov versus Zerto again. I feel like like heavy, that would have been a much better fight.
Well, it was at light heavy when they fought. It was.
Oh fuck, no, it was. Yeah, I'm bugging out. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. What Zerto did was he moved after that fight. Then he moved. He moved down.
Oh yeah, that's what, fuck, man. Zerto, his career is so like I kind of mush it together,
Yeah, because it's just so forgettable.
I mean, hey, they you see that he said that they're in talks with Bivol. That's I think.
Yeah, he said that fucking shit.
Yeah,
I didn't see B. I need to see Krasiuk. I need to see Eddie Hearn, and I need to see my man Bivol saying that shit. I'm not just gonna believe it because Zerto said it, because Zerto
saying a lot of shit.
He say a lot of shit, bro. Like if you wanted when they offered you him, you didn't take it, bro. And I believe them. I don't believe you and Oscar. Not just, what I mean? Like, okay, you say
I need Roberto Diaz to say that yes we are, or I need them. I trust them. You know what I mean? Oscar
and I'm not gonna. Maybe they sent him a contract, but maybe it's for some old piece of shit ass up. Like what y'all offered Bivol, bro? This man just fought Canelo. What the fuck do y'all have to offer him? At the same time, based on reports, Jaime Munguia got $2 million for Jimmy Kelly, bro.
Wow.
Bro, if you got $2 million to just give Jaime for a fight like that, that's why I didn't jump.
They have to compensate for that Charlo shit. That's what it is. They got to pay that man for that Charlo shit.
You took the words right out of my mouth, bro. That I'm like, why the fuck would they pay him that?
That shit hits, man.
For Kelly,
bro.
Fuck, bro. I'm like, yeah, they had to pay him for that Charlo shit, bro. But it's like, bro, you should have let him go over there, man. You should have let him. It should have because that fight would have probably happened by now, and Jaime would be a champion.
I tell you what, I don't think that Charlo was gonna make $2 million for motherfucking Suzuki.
Nah,
I don't think he was.
You see the video of dude in the club, drunk as fuck?
I seen that shit. He supposed to have a back injury, but he all hugged up with a bunch of guys taking selfies and shit. Drunk as shit.
And motherfuckers like, oh, so what, a guy with a back injury can't, like, bro, he's a professional fighter that has an injury right now. You're not supposed to even be at the clubs drinking when you're in camp, first of all, when you have a fight coming up. So
in a very general sense, I mean, I know I don't want to be the guy that stands on the pulpit and points the finger at everyone, but generally speaking, fighters aren't supposed to be imbibed. I mean, they're not supposed to, because it hits them harder since they cut weight. That's my understanding. That
yes,
they actually
way harder.
They get drunk faster than I would. Like, nobody can drink more than that. I probably can't be drunken under the table.
A lot of it too is that, especially if you're a fighter cutting weight, you already got a lot of that water and nutrients missing from your body already. So if you start putting, because it's like if you drink on an empty stomach, basically.
Yep.
You're gonna get hit hard, but it's gonna be hard and it's gonna be fucked up after. But it's that Demetrius, he told me one time, he's like, I don't touch none of that shit. like most of the time through the year. Maybe
What's
like on a holiday.
Demetrius gonna do, man? What's the inside scoop on Rhode Island's finest, bro? Is he gonna go to the PBCs? Is he gonna go to match? What's he gonna do, bro?
Is he said to me, he's like, he don't mind going there, but the thing is, he don't want to go and sign a deal if he's not getting somebody guaranteed. That's what
Somebody has to be part of the deal.
Yeah, like he, because it's like okay, he goes there and he gets a 3-fight deal. Nobody like specific. Okay, you have to like say no. This man's name needs to be in his contract because it's like then he's gonna go there do the same shit but make less money. Is that's less money for the exact if not worse opponents too. So it's like, he's kind of waiting on like some confirmation, I guess, from like whoever. But as of like right now, what he's gonna do like next for like his next opponent, he hasn't even decided on if he's saying that 60 either. So it's kind of like,
well,
damn.
look, just because I like the Yanni Beck fight. I like the fight. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
But I also and I said this way before that. Look, I understand when you look at a Yanni Beck and you like, look, this is all right, but this is not a big fight. I want a big fight.
He said it himself. Did you see that interview when dude was talking to him? He's like, oh, since you're done with 16, Boo was like, no, I didn't say that. He's like, I ain't say that. He was like, whoa, let me, because the WO hit him up real fucking quick. Like, yo,
because they don't, Paco be on his shit, bro. Like he pay attention.
Yeah, but
Paco,
what the fuck was I saying?
That's
my train of thought.
Here goes. I'm gonna shoot the link to Alexis because I want to badmouth Bob Arum. Bob Arum is blocking the light heavyweight undisputed title fight. That's what he's doing. He is affecting me. Let me stop talking shit. Tyson Fury is just so full of shit,
bro. Oh my, I really want. I want him to fight Usyk, bro, because I just know what'll happen, and I need him to fucking get retired. I really do. If
he might not. He might not never fight that dude, bro. Like he might not.
But I just need him to not retire undefeated because we will never ever hear the end of it. No man, bro.
Listen, bro, that's the type of cat that he is, though, bro. And he knows that, and you know that, and I know that. And Alexis El Mangu. Salchichone, he knows that shit, bro. That dude, he could retire undefeated, and this is reality. Tyson Fury has options, bro. He can do the WWE for another $14 million. Remember, they gave him $15 million to do that shit. He can do exhibition matches and get he's in a position where he can make a lot of money, not doing a lot of heavy lifting. That's the truth. Alexis. Here to talk shit. Let me start with Bob. What did Bob do?
Dude, you're sick. He said, wait, what did Bob do now?
I saw something earlier. Oh, I know what. It's not even Bob. Listen, Alexis in his fashion, his controversial fashion, he released a tweet earlier this week. He said that Wilder would have beat Anthony Joshua. That's what he said. And, I wanted to save the discussion because I knew that I'd get him on here. And I feel, Alexis, in here.
A matter of time for y'all cross paths.
I feel in here that you're only saying that because Fury beat him. And you're only saying that about Fury because he's with Top Rank.
Not true.
Alexis.
Not true.
It's the truth. It's the truth. You and I both know.
No.
You know it. You know it.
No.
You
absolutely not. I'm basing it off of Andy Ruiz knocking what's his name? AJ out, right? I'm basing it off the way he reacts to punches now. I'm basing it off of that. That's what I'm basing it.
Yeah, but you know what? All right, the issue that I have, it's not an issue really. It's just I don't necessarily agree. I'll put it that way. Is if the fight would have happened when it needed to happen, when he was offered 60-40. This is before DAZN offered him $100 million, by the way. They offered him a 60-40 split, $15 million guaranteed up front. He would have made well in excess of whatever he made with Fury. I guarantee it.
With the 15, recovered that money.
You know what I mean? Right? Mm-hmm. And if the fight would have happened in that time frame, this is before the Ruiz fight. Ruiz only comes into it because Miller tested positive, and Miller only came into it because Wilder didn't take the deal. You know, so when I think about when this fight was at its height, the height of its popularity as a conversation, that's the timeline I'm thinking of. And I don't see the reason I cannot equate Andy Ruiz's success with Anthony Joshua to Deontay Wilder's is Wilder has no inside game. He has one punch. He has no inside game.
He has no combinations too. That's another thing. And he's not shorter.
He don't put him together like that on the inside. He has one punch, and he literally does this the whole fight, waiting to throw the right.
I think Joshua would have got him out there like in 3 rounds probably.
I wholehearted, and people think it's crazy because they're using that Ruiz and Usyk. Bro, Wilder's not Molina, none of those people.
Molina, Fury. Sconiers. Who else hurt him bad?
The fat guy on that club show. He knocked Wilder down.
Yeah, my dude.
I wholeheartedly believe one of the most protected and overrated fighters in contemporary postmodern boxing is Deontay Wilder because it's an illusion.
Agreed.
All of it is an illusion.
Agreed. He looked vulnerable in every fight. Even the knockout fights, bro, Eric Molina had him tripping over his own feet.
He walked into a left hook. He walked it. I'm like, bro, nah. Like y'all wilding. And this is the
look at the Ortiz fight, bro. The Ortiz fights, bro. That whole fight was Wilder doing the hand motion you said and getting battered by the straight left.
Literally,
jab.
That's why when he fought Gerald Washington, his jab kept getting countered.
Yes, Gerald Washington. That's who it was. He was schooling him, and then he got clipped. And knockouts matter. He knocked him out. But it's like, bro, when everybody keeps saying Wilder knocks out everybody in their mouth, I'm like, bro, these D-level guys were boxing his fucking head and hurting him. Bro.
Nobody that he knocked out is nobody that Derek Chisora wouldn't have knocked out.
I mean,
no,
talk about it.
Derek can't knock out Gerald Washington. Derek can't knock out Eric Molina.
Listen, Dillian White has knocked out better opposition than Wilder.
All right. Now, Alexis, I have a question. I want you to look into your crystal ball.
Listen, let me first ask you a question.
All right.
So, how does it feel to have the comforts of expounding your viewpoints in an echo chamber?
It feels great, actually. I don't have to deal with
it. Does. I bet you it does.
It feels great because, see, social media, I use it the way things are in real life. I don't bother with everybody's opinions in real life. I don't need them. You know what I mean? I don't talk to everybody in real life because I don't want to talk to everybody in real life. I don't give a shit about anybody. I only give a shit about me and whoever I decide is worthy to speak
of your time. Right.
Yeah. I only think a handful of people on this planet are worthy to speak to me. You should thank your lucky stars that you're one of them and that you're here. That you have the privilege.
I do so every day, and I appreciate it. But here's the danger in that. The danger in that is that when you operate in an echo chamber, you don't get to expand your viewpoint. That's it. And so I come from a place where my innate sense of being, not that everybody should be like that, but I'm more interested in the counter view than I am in somebody agreeing with me. So because it gives me the opportunity to dissect the counter argument and prepare better for future, conflict. But that's not here nor there.
Nobody's more prepared. No, wait. If what you are saying, right? See, don't forget this, Alexis. I started a group a long time ago consisting of 53,000 subscribers from all around the world. You know the group.
It was in the 60s, but go ahead.
In the 60s, yeah, it was about 60,000 people. I argued with all those people. And you know what I realized in my travels? Some people are too stupid to argue with. That's when I realized that I don't need to know what everybody thinks. All I need to do is my due diligence so that I am informed, and that is enough. Because I don't, because if I expand my horizons and open myself up to the poisons and the toxins and the bullshit, I'll spend more time arguing than actually making money.
True, but the I'm not saying to open yourself up to everyone, but there's are interesting counter arguments that are worthy of attention, which is why you have me on your show, I think. But,
that is why, because we don't agree on everything.
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at.
That's the best thing, to be honest. Disagreements, but civil.
So as far as getting back to the AJ thing. Now, I think that you've seen me throughout I was on the let's just dissect the tweet first of all.
Mm-hmm.
I said basically that here's a bitter pill to swallow for both PBC fans and AJ.
I enjoyed that part.
Right?
I enjoyed that part.
The bitter pill to swallow for both of them is that, and of course everything's an opinion. And I said that now 2020 hindsight. So I know I'm operating from 2020 hindsight because I know that I was on the AJ side of things. As far as negotiations was concerned, definitely how the fight didn't happen. That's totally on Deontay Wilder and Finkel and the people I mentioned. So that's totally happened. Now I'm trying to look at it from that tweet's point from the PBC's fan side, right? If I was a PBC fan, if I was a follower of Wilder, a Wilderette, wouldn't I be kicking myself right now that I didn't take that AJ fight, knowing now how chinny AJ is?
Well, this is what
Joshua side.
Now this is where we disagree. But this is where we disagree. Let me say this, Alexis. This is where we disagree, right? And I've said this before. It's hard for me to look at heavyweights as being chinny because I remember a time, and I'm sure you remember it too, when many Americans considered Lennox Lewis a chinny fighter, right? There was a time when Vladimir Klitschko, after the Corey Saunders fight, he was considered chinny. And time taught me, in all my wisdom and Capricornian excellence, that those fighters aren't chinny. That is the heavyweight division being a cruel mistress. This is the one division where you are always one punch away from being knocked out. Case in point, we saw Lucas Brown, who we all know is a shot fighter. We all know that, right? He took out a man much younger and much bigger, who the bookies thought he was going to fucking knock out Lucas. No, Lucas ended up knocking him out, right? Same guy that went 12 rounds with Joseph Parker. Same guy, right? And it kind of dawned, and this dawned on me a long time ago. I understand it now that there are people that are chinny in the sport of boxing. There are even some, very few, chinny heavyweights like David Price. He's a guy I would say is chinny. But the guys that beat Anthony Joshua, like Ruiz was never a bitch, bro. He took clean shots from Joseph Parker. He was the guy who I saw. He created the timid, complacent, capitulant Joseph Parker. He's the one who caused that to happen because it was in that fight that Joseph stopped looking like a world-class guy. It was literally in that fight for the WBO title in New Zealand when it was vacant. It was in that fight. And that's where I'm like, this Andy Ruiz guy, he looked like what he looked like, but he ain't no bitch. When they announced Andy as the replacement for Jarrell Miller, the video is up. I said, this is actually a better fighter than Jarrell Miller. It's a better fighter, better gas tank, more power, more speed. He's dangerous. His counters are quick. I said it in the video. AJ better not let this man get inside because he'll be in trouble. He's got to keep him at the end of his jab. And that's what I thought he was going to do in the first fight. Keep him at the end of the jab, boxing. Keep him at the end of the jab.
Lennox Lewis style. He fought the way he should have fought in the first one and the second. But it's just like it's kind of to me it's kind of crazy to say AJ's chinny and shit because like one is heavyweights, two it's like bro he literally just got caught with a shot. He got caught with a shot and he kept getting up every time he could, but equilibrium shot and fucking Ruiz has hands that are faster than Wilder couldn't have dreams of having that hand speed.
Wilder don't have short punches like that. So
not dream of that.
Wilder doesn't have short punches like that, and Wilder telegraphs the right. To Wilder's credit, he was able to connect that right hands 4 times against a very good boxer, arguably the number 1 boxer in the heavyweight division right now, and that's Tyson Fury. So I give him that credit, but I also think about it. I put the shoe on the other foot, and I'm like, well, who says that Anthony Joshua don't stop this guy? This guy don't take a good punch. He doesn't, period. I've known that for years. I've known that Wilder doesn't have a good gas tank, and I've been saying it like, yo, if this guy gets hit clean by a guy who can really punch, he goes out, bro. And that's why he's matched the way that he's matched. Look, you doubled back for Ortiz after he tested positive for a banned substance. You know who you didn't go back for? Povetkin, because he would have fucking knocked you out. And you know that. If that fight would have happened, he would have got knocked the fuck out.
I believe it.
You mean the Povetkin fight?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted that fight.
Now, that same Povetkin, now in turn, Alexis, which is why I cannot agree with the contention that he's chinny, at least not yet, I need to see more, is because I saw Anthony Joshua take a short left hook right to the fucking face from that same Povetkin. That same Povetkin.
Povetkin would have iced Wilder, man. Heads or not.
That's why I don't jump. That's why I don't jump to that conclusion. Because I'm like, look, man, if this dude was really like a David Price type of cat, Povetkin would have smoked him. Because Povetkin, and that's not some new shit. That dude is fucking dangerous, bro. He was always dangerous. Going into the white fight, that dude is fucking dangerous, bro. That dude throws some of the shortest punches in the whole heavyweight division. They so short, you're not gonna see them, right? By the time he get in and throw what he throw, and the way that he throw it, that he drives all his punches, all his weight is on him, you're not gonna see none of that. And he'll take you the fuck out. If that dude didn't sleep Anthony Joshua, it's hard for me to say, yeah, he's chinny, yo. That dude can't get hit.
You think we're going to see the Ruiz? First of all, do you think Ruiz would beat Deontay Wilder?
No, that style matchup.
Andy's unfortunately for Andy, he's a potted plant, and he's shorter too. But he doesn't. If Andy had the foot speed to get inside, like, and moves up her body, that's the interest. Yeah, then we're having
his guard. Look, it's you hear it all the time. I say it all the time. I'm sure you hear it all the time. Styles make fights. Andy's style, Wilder is all wrong for Andy. Why? Your feet are slow, and you're gonna come forward in a high guard, looking to catch and counter, right? Wilder, his punches sail to the back of guys' heads because of how long his arms are. So as Andy's coming forward and Wilder's letting off a shot, if he decides to let the right go, that punch is going to go right to the back of his head the same way it went to the back of Stavern's head in the second fight. And he'll take Andy out. He'll knock Andy out.
But here's the thing. If Andy does get inside, ooh.
Oh, yeah, he'd be in trouble.
Oh man! If Andy gets inside on Wilder, there's nothing he can do, and that's why. And I was saying this before. I was like, dude, if these cruiserweights go to heavy and Wilder, I know he would never fight. Let's say if Bradis, Garcia, they went to heavy with Usyk, and somehow Wilder with one of those guys. Man, listen.
Listen, Wilder and Fury are a very clever illusion that most people bought because they're not gauging what they're seeing. They're not gauging what they're seeing. They're gauging their own excitement. It's a very clever illusion where you could go in there and languish with an Otto Verline. You could go in there and get a gift decision over a John McDermott. You could get dropped by a Steve Cunningham, who wasn't even a big puncher as a cruiserweight. All this can happen, but because you fought Wilder, history is rewritten. It's rewritten.
They're an act. They're an act. Those two, they use each other, and their fans eat it the fuck up, man.
They do. It's a very clever illusion.
It really, like, those 3 fights really have, like, I was arguing with some dudes in this group chat the other day. They were saying Wilder fought Fury. I'm like, bro, what the? He lost 3 times. What is it, bro? And you don't get credit just for fighting a guy. You have to win. You have to win.
The other thing.
You have to win.
The thing about Fury, and I know Alexis ain't gonna like this, but I'm gonna say it. thing about Fury is he didn't become this hair that he has absolutely nothing to do with beating Vladimir, and that's a more credible victory to me by far than any of the Wilder fights. That was a true blue elite level guy, not Wilder. Whatever people are saying about Fury now has to do with Wilder, not Vladimir. The best exhibition of how Fury is a capable boxer was the Vlad. Even though it wasn't a fun fight to watch, it was an awful fight to watch. But did he disarm and undress Vladimir? Yeah. He took away the jab, which took away the right hand, and Vladimir was lost in the sauce. He couldn't do shit, right? Now Wilder, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. You eating left hooks from Molina. You got dropped more than once just because they didn't put it on BoxRec. I knew, like, I seen when he got dropped by that fat white dude. I seen that. He let it, and he literally walked into a punch. The Skoniers fight is just the one that people know about because it's on BoxRec. That it says that he got knocked out, and it says that, yo, look, Skoniers could have beat him. And Skoniers was a little fat dude, and old. Right?
Who's the fat white dude
So it's amazing because, and I identify, man, like I'm hearing you and I'm hearing me. I'm hearing me when I am dead set against a fighter. And I can't.
Did anything I said?
Wait a minute. Listen, I'm literally, I say, I'm hearing you and I'm like, oh shit, that's me. That's me when I just couldn't see Devin Haney beating Cambosa, right? Like
but I did, Alexis. You have to acknowledge that.
So wait a minute. But here's the thing. I think you're gonna find it very, very hard to argue with this, right? The one fighter, we give credit pound for pound list. For me, pound for pound lists are not just so much your record and resume and things like that, but like you as a fighter, how many things can you do? Can you, like, how what can you do in that ring as a fighter? How hard is it to stop you? What adjustments can you make? We have just witnessed. We're in the midst of witnessing in Tyson Fury, some guy that we saw outbox Klitschko in Germany using guile with IQ, right?
I like that you use the word guile. I like that. Okay. I like that.
We saw him then take on Deontay Wilder, a guy that was slept on Fury and was trying to, use him, cherry-picked Fury. I always say it was a cherry pick gone wrong, horribly wrong. And in the first fight, outboxed him in a way that so concisely that even after getting knocked down twice, people still say you won that fight. Then he gets up and says, I know what I did wrong. I need to come forward on this guy. I'm going to do this and this and that and makes a judgment. Tells the world he's going to do that. World says, oh, he's full of shit. Then that's precisely that. And beats Wilder in a totally different way. Then these are all things. Then, right, this is the part that I like. Because I heard you and watched you. And I don't know if your panels, those same panels are there, but a whole team of panelists, the echo chamber, right? Help further convince you that what's his name? I don't even know his name anymore. Dillian White was going to pose this threat to Fury. And I heard all the things that you said of why Dillian White was going to pose this threat. Some of the points you're still bringing up now. And so, he dispatches this guy. And the part that I really, really adhere to, I hope that you yourself remember, is that out of your mouth, you said, you know what? If Fury beats Dillian White, then I'm going to give him credit.
I did.
That in the third. and you will stop disparaging his records. But here you are still doing the same thing. You got to
No, all right. That's where I have to stop you.
Okay.
You're going from disparaging Wilder to disparaging Fury. I'm disparaging Wilder still.
Well, no.
Now, wait, it's my turn. Allow me to retort. Allow me to retort. Can I do that?
Sure.
Now, my echo chamber, right? Well, never mind the echo chamber, because there were actually people in the echo chamber that picked George, right? One of them is right here. Who did I pick?
Yep. I took George too, Alexis.
You mean with the Cambosos thing?
I took George too, Alexis.
Now, you, Alexis. No, espera un momento. Okay. Now, I am inside an echo chamber where everyone agrees with me, even though they don't. Alexis did not agree with what I thought. I thought that Devine Haney would travel to Australia and pitch a shutout, managing the distance with lead hand. Alexis, who does not reside in an echo chamber, thought that Devine Haney would go to Australia and lose. Which one of us was right?
Absolutely, you were.
Hey, Julius.
Of course.
Hey, Alexis needs to look at our thread yesterday talking about echo chamber.
My point is this, that I now acknowledge, right, that my aversion to seeing, I couldn't see Devin Haney clearly. I couldn't see him clearly. First of all, Cambosos was a big disappointment. I thought Cambosos was the type that was going in front of his family, 45,000 people. I thought he was going to be willing to walk through the fire, take punishment to get inside of Devin Haney. That didn't happen. Cambosos decided not to go all out. I don't believe that he did that he showed and I don't blame him, because obviously he just did not have the tools needed. He didn't have the legs.
Can I say this, Alexis?
And the other thing with as far that I thought was that Devin Haney was good. I did not know that Devin. This is the part where I really didn't give Devin Haney for, that really blindsided me, was that I didn't think that Devin Haney was going to stay disciplined enough to execute that style. I thought he was going to get suckered into a firefight, which he didn't do. I thought basically that the moment was going to be too big for him. I thought that he was going to go out there at some point and try to prove a point by showing his power, by this and that. And he didn't give into that one iota.
Alexis, the same intangibles, the worries, I should say, right? Because I raised those concerns. How do we know that Devin doesn't allow himself to get sucked into a war the way he did with Linares? He never had to trade with Linares in the pocket. He could have managed the distance behind his jab, but he chose to fight him in the pocket. He got popped in the face, got wobbled. I get you, right? But bear in mind that if I am the man that resides inside an echo chamber, so that everyone will agree with what I say, even though Isan is proof that no, everybody here doesn't agree with what I say. There were people here on this panel of excellent human beings, right? Ahead of Charlo versus Castaño, there were quite a few Castaño people. I picked Charlo.
I was one of them. I was one of them.
All right. So if the contention is that, Julius is in an echo chamber and all these guys always agree with whatever he says, well, one, that's false. No, they don't. But two, it's not being in an echo chamber to get away from different opinions. It's because most people are too childish and stupid to have the privilege to talk to me. That's what it is. I've already given everybody the benefit of the doubt. Do you remember that I made a group of 60,000 individuals? And all they did was argue stupid and baseless talking points. Some people, which is sad, are too stupid to be helped. And their stupidity is their own problem. You need to be at a certain level just to be able to converse with an individual and actually have a conversation like we're having. I'm listening to you. I'm not just waiting to get mad or yell at you or curse at you. No, we're grown-ups. We're going to have a grown-up conversation like two grown-ups, right? And what I realize is there's a lot of people that are incapable of doing that on social media You could raise all the valid talking points and everything you say can be true. And they are so inept, it will go over their heads and you will have only wasted your own time. That's why I'm in an echo chamber. Because I'm like, well, if I'm not going to make money talking to these fucking morons, I don't need to talk to these fucking morons. That's why you don't see me in the group like that no more.
There's a difference between being in an echo chamber and does not want to deal with bullshit. Like on here, anybody can join on here, you know. But it's like it's limited, obviously too. But it's like you don't have a bunch of randoms that are just, oh, we're gonna say a bunch of bullshit. And no, it's filtered. Nobody wants to. The worst thing ever is when you have a discussion and there's no real point of contention. There's no point to it. Just a bunch of bullshit being spewed. Like there's no end goal to an argument or a topic. That's the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah, like
disagreement is disagreement. That's what
I like having Alexis on for the reason that he mentioned, because I know that Alexis has an opposing viewpoint and he's a critical thinker. I've spoken to him many times over the years. I know he's a critical thinker, that he doesn't need someone to do his thinking for him. So that's why I have him on. Right? I know he's intelligent enough and articulate enough that I can listen to him, get his idea, and wrap my own mind around it. I get that, right? But if the notion is, oh, well, Julius only wants to stay on his own channel, yeah, it's because I don't want people yelling at me and cursing at me, and I don't want conversations devolving into the child. I'm almost 40, bro, right? I don't want to say a lot, but what kind of fucking que clase mamagüevo would I be to get into shouting matches on the internet?
Well, let me just address the whole echo chamber thing. First of all, I think I might have to walk that back because I have to illustrate that it's from the times that I've been on, right? Where, you know, and now I want you to just put yourself in my shoes for a minute, right? The times that I've been on, right? Whether it was the Fury Dillian White scenario where I said what I said and, you know, that took place, but also the last time I was on, I think it was the A-side thing of what Better Be, well, not Better Be, but the whole how light heavyweight
B-ball, Better Be,
and stuff like that.
Being potentially the A-side.
So I was dealing and trying to talk to you. I'm getting a lot of peripheral action.
Okay, I understand.
Peripheral action. It was literally peripheral action, right? So, and in that particular conversation, which I really didn't get a chance to bring up, is that one of the I think that at the crux is the cheapening of the word cash cow, because that came up as cash cow. Cash cow. If we remember, if we walk back through that debate, we both agreed that, you know, because we were saying, oh, who needs who and who can do what and whatever. My contention was that nobody is a cash cow until this happens, until one emerges, right? You're saying, hold on, please, hold on. You're saying that he's the cash cow in the division off of this win over Canelo. Then you go on to say, in as far as him having more options, right? You said that his options against Ramirez, the big fight, right? And the fight against the Buatsi.
He's got. Let me run down the options.
Yeah.
On the matchroom side of things, just outside of a Canelo fight, right? You have Buatsi, you have Callum Smith, you have Zerto, and you also have Canelo. That's 4 options. Whereas Artur, okay, you're doing the Smith fight, but that really doesn't count. That's done. Beyond that, what do you got? You got Yard. And if you dispatch Yard, who else is really gonna make for a decent, because I don't even know that the Yard fight is like a huge fight. You know what I mean? I question it because I don't know that Yard has the same following as some other fighters because he's barely active. Like, he's only going to probably fight once this whole year. And outside of that fight, it's like, well, if Artur don't get that Bivol fight, the fuck is he gonna do with them 3 belts?
Or Smith. But the
There's
thing
no
is
money in
this.
that division, so it's like,
My
what are you
point
gonna
is
do?
this.
What are you gonna
No,
do?
my
Not
point
fight
is
the
this.
guy who beat Canelo?
My point is this. I'm talking about this cheapening because I said that one would have to come out has yet to be revealed. Is my point. And that cash cows, in my opinion, don't need anything. They don't need to go to take trips to UK or fight Ramirez or this and that. They are the show. It is they who bring the money. They who bring the money, irregardless of who they fight. You don't tell a Canelo that's a cash cow.
Mm-hmm.
Pacquiao was a cash cow. Mayweather was a cash cow. You know, those are very few and far between. You know, even to say that if for example, if Kambosos would have been a better fighter,
and he would have won, he would have become a cash cow.
He would have become a cash cow.
Agreed.
Because he brings the money.
Agreed.
Bivol does not have that.
But that's not. See, this is all right. Let me articulate this. Right.
Really?
Let me articulate this because I know what he means. That Bivol doesn't have a legion of followers that are with him, whether he's fighting a fucking Adam Dionese or a better beef. He doesn't have that. But his involvement in a fight at this point makes it a high-profile fight. His involvement, all right? Better Beef versus Bivol would do the numbers that this Joe Smith Jr. fight ain't going to do. This is at the Hulu Theater, right? 5,000. Let's see if they sell over 5,000 tickets. I love the fight. Don't misunderstand me. It's a great fight. But Better Beef, you know, most of the people buying those tickets, and I've seen what's been said, they're expecting a strong Long Island presence on Saturday, right? It's not a bunch of Russians jumping on a plane for Artur. Whereas the general boxing fan that watches boxing, not exclusive to Russians, they saw what Bivol did to Canelo Alvarez. And every fight he's involved in now is made intriguing, whether it's Artur or Joshua Buatsi or Callum Smith or fucking Zerto, which that would be huge. Like, they're not saying it now, but trust me, if you do that on the West Coast, right? Huge. The Mexicans are going to want their payback.
The Mexicans, yes.
They're going to want their payback for what Bivol did to Canelo. And I understand that the guys that are going to buy the fight, they're not necessarily Bivol fans, but because he's involved, it's made bigger.
Mm-hmm. Can I just? I'm actually curious at what the pay-per-view numbers in Australia was for Haney versus Kambosos. I feel like whenever Kambosos speaks, it kind of feels like a IG thirst trap. Like when you see them in person, they're not really that hot. And it's like when I saw the crowd over there at Marvel Stadium, I'm like, wait, I thought this was supposed to be a sellout. I barely see like 2 people on the upper deck.
I mean,
so
I think
his whole
30-something thousand showed up.
45.
I'm like, yo, that should have been in an NBA arena. But that's further from the point. It's like whether he was gonna be a cash cow or not, you know, it really depended on who he is as a fighter. Because all Haney had to do was look up at his resume and just laugh, and just say like, yo, this shit ain't happening. And when I saw that performance, how that fight played out, I'm like, damn, Teofimo, you really fucked up.
Thank you, and I want to say this, right? Because I'm going to pray for that kid because I think he's a good kid, and I actually think he is good for boxing. Teofimo is. I want him to get it together because he's much better than what he showed against George. He's much better than that. George is a boxer puncher. Not a great one, but he's good. Teofimo is better than that, and he's a boxer puncher. Neither one of them is pure boxers. Neither one of them is a pressure guy. They're both boxer punchers. What's sad is that Teofimo lost doing dumb shit. He doesn't normally fight like that, coming out, going crazy, throwing these big dumb, like, bro, you normally set up your knockouts, and they're great highlight reel knockouts. He went out there with George the way that he did because he wanted to go home early. He didn't feel good. He figures, I hit this guy once he goes out, I go to the hospital because my chest is fucked up. I believe his story that your chest. Why? I seen the mountain hit you in the chest, bro. It's not a coincidence. You let that 300-pound man punch your little ass in the chest ahead of a fight. Could you be more dumb, right? So I know Teofimo's better than that. And he did fuck up because that's my view of Kambosos. God bless Kambosos and his dad and all of them, right? But the truth, what I believe is the truth. Teofimo beat himself and made himself easier for George to beat. George is all right. He's not a bad fighter. He's not. If he were a bad fighter, he would have lost.
George is good enough. He's one of those fighters where if you're not on your shit, he's going to beat you.
He'll beat you.
Yeah.
But like you said,
he's
Teofimo,
You know,
Teofimo,
that being said,
yeah.
that being said, Alexis, I like your opinions, but please don't ever associate George Kambosos and Dimitri Bivol in the same sentence.
No,
It's just I didn't see the potential in him. That's why I cursed out
cash
like
cows, who brings money.
yeah, cash cows, but like it just wasn't gonna happen for me because that's why I was so fucking adamant about Teofimo getting his shit together. And like when I saw him, I'm like, that dude, he's all right. It's just that the bullshit kind of distracts him. The social media, the hype, the attention, yes. But he needs to center himself around being focused around boxing and fixing this shit and not turn out like this guy right here.
Look, I wanted to ask Alexis about this guy because, I'm a big fan of Top Rank. I'm a big fan of what they do. But you have to admit, this is the illegitimate. If they have an illegitimate child with the neighbor lady, this is the child, right? This is because it's like, I don't know what they're going to. And I wanted to, I've asked this on other lives. I want to ask you, what the fuck are they going to do, bro? What are they gonna do?
This is bad.
I literally look. They're talking about a Jesse Hart fight, right? And I don't think he's gonna fight Jesse. He'll lose that fight, But if he doesn't, if you can't make him take the sink or swim fights, or you know what I mean? If things like that don't happen, well, what the fuck are they gonna do?
Hey, they're gonna have to. First of all. This Romer and Gulo fight. You
didn't win that fight, Alexis.
I agree. If like I said, if Romer and Gulo were not to have been have a year layoff or whatever it was, he beat this guy up. But I'm glad that they put him in that fight. It shows that they're willing. I mean, Romer Angulo could knock a motherfucker out.
No, he can. He's got 30-something knockouts, I think. He's got a lot of knockouts.
So they picked him at the right time. I think it was matchmaking supreme. Let's put him in a tough fight, but let's give him this much of an edge on Romer Angulo, including age and ring rust. But the thing is about what I really don't like about Berlanga, and I said it in a video, is that he's the quintessential he's the quintessential bully, man. He's a front runner. Mm-hmm. This guy is not gonna come back. I don't really feel like he's the type that's gonna come back from any kind of adversity or anything like that. He gets punched in the face, and his reactions are deer in the headlights. He doesn't refocus and become more determined like so many other fighters that I've seen, the really, really elite fighters. And I think that part of being elite is character. It takes character to be elite. And he doesn't.
Do you think
I don't even think he really loves boxing, to tell you.
Do you think he's a victim of his own success, that they promoted him perhaps too well to the point to where he can't be what they were selling?
Well, he's a victim of his own success, but it wasn't the promotion. I mean, the thing was just it took off like wildfire. You got to. I meant part of the video was also this that he came. It was the perfect storm. You got to remember that he's a child of the bubble.
He is.
Right. So there was nothing on. There was no sports. Okay, so he makes his appearance and he's putting on these first round knockouts. Everything was right. It was like I said, the perfect storm for him to come out, and he comes out of this, and then he gets that. Who's that first 8 rounder? He went the distance.
Coceres. Oh no, the guy before Coceres. I know you talking about the guy before Coceres.
Yeah, black guy, right?
It went a couple of rounds, but he did knock the guy out though.
He stopped him at the end.
No. That's the fight that broke the knockout streak, and he went the distance.
Oh, matter of fact, you're right. He did.
It was what was it? The guy had a generic name. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it was like a regular name, like.
Yeah, regular black guy, bald-headed.
Right? Yeah.
He dropped him down pretty bad, like 3 times.
Yeah.
He hurt him. He hurt him in the fight, but he didn't stop him.
Yeah, he didn't KO him.
Right. And the thing about that
Demond
fight,
Nicholas.
that's when I saw
Nicholson.
Desmond Nicholson. That's right.
Demond Nicholson, something like that. The thing is, in that fight, that's when I saw the first real like that. I said, "Oh man, he doesn't like getting hit." And not that anybody likes getting hit, but there are people, man, like your Chavez's, your Triple G's. When you have that kind of power and you're a real knockout artist, then the thing that makes you super dangerous, like a better beer, is your how you embrace getting hit. How what happens to you. If you think about this for a minute, I thought about this, like Manny Pacquiao I think he got knocked out in his 3rd fight.
Yeah,
of stuff like that. He got knocked the fuck out in his 3rd fight, and he goes on to then have that career that he did, and still fight with the same zest, the same fire, willingness to stand in and trade against anybody, people that are dangerous. That is ridiculous elite level. Not everybody can do that.
It comes down to character and what like for Manny, you're talking about a guy Manny who went through like what he went through. If that month I got knocked out, but I'm trying to get this money and get out of this situation.
Yeah, but I don't think it comes down to character when we're talking about punch resistance is what we're talking.
Okay. Yeah.
No. I mean, you're not. In other words, we're having the same conversation. You're saying that the character of the individual can affect how he approaches the adversity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I honestly believe, Alexis, this kid doesn't have it. Like the it that you need, that the basic boxer needs to make it, he doesn't have it. When he gets hit, I see him and everything stops. When Terrence gets hit, game on. Like game on. Like
he wants his get back.
When Manny get hit, Manny take that shit. Dad ate my dog. Dad ate my dog. You can't hurt me. My dad ate my dog, fam. You can't hurt me, right? Berlanga.
My dad ate my dog.
My dad ate my dog.
Maybe you discovered it. Does Berlanga have a puppy hanging around that his father could kill?
Do we need to put it on the skillet? I don't know. Look, this is a guy, right? And I had go back to the videos I did. I had concerns. Do you want to be a boxer or do you want to be a star? Because that's not the same thing. If you want to be a star, you're gonna lose.
I mean, I saw him up close, man, and it's like I noticed that this dude was kind of interested in being flossed out more than being like a standout in
the
this
lifestyle,
division.
man. He's more interested in the lifestyle than anything. I said, man, look, man, he strikes me as somebody that if he could make the same money doing something else, he'd be doing something else.
Alexis, I wanted to ask you, because you like Virtuoso, y'all are native New Yorkers. He's not a Bronx Puerto Rican. In Bronx Puerto Ricans, they fight, bro. I lived in the Bronx. They motherfuckers fight, bro.
Yeah, he's not a Bronx Puerto Rican. No.
So it's not a like when I say it's not a game in the Bronx, bro. Mm-hmm. It never was, and it never it's not, bro. They like in a war bubble. It's like a war planet. Some of the most violent shit I've ever seen was in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Right? He's not a Bronx Puerto Rican. He not a Bushwick, Brooklyn, Puerto Rican neither.
Nope.
They get down in Bushwick, and it's a lot of Puerto Rocks over there.
Mhm.
He is a Lower East Side Puerto Rican. Now, you know the Lower East Side. That's the nice part of Manhattan. Like, yeah, you got a little hood, little projects in there, but it's all nice shit around it, you know?
So you get to
like, if you've been to the Lower East Side, it's like you could
Bro,
take it's not like a for real hood.
I said he was very boutique. Like when I said that, but like I'm not even sure he's a Lower East Side Puerto Rican. I think he's a Diamond District Puerto Rican.
Bro, I heard he from LES. That's what I heard. And I'm not trying to look. I don't want people in LES with guns looking for me. I'm just saying that I'm being honest, bro. I lived in New York 31 years, most of my life, right? And LES is not the ghetto. Just because you got some, like, look, they got projects on 66th Street, bro. If you go all the way down the Riverside, there's some projects right there. But that don't make 66th Street a hood, right? And LES, what I remember about LES, you know, Canal Street ain't far away. You know, Hell's Kitchen ain't far. These is the nice parts. Chinatown. These is
New York is very eclectic. Like, yo, I'm like a few blocks away from, like, I work in the meatpacking district, and just a few blocks away from projects, and not much shit going down
on 18th Street.
Yes,
on 18th Street. There's projects on 18th Street. Like, if you go all the way down the shit, it's project, but that don't make it a, you know, hood. Like, nah, that's 18th Street, my guy. If you
it's a self-contained hood. That's what it is. That's what the page is. It's a self-contained hood.
I mean, Lower East Side. Hey, listen, that dude Blue Boy comes from LES.
True Life comes from LES, bro. But I still felt like no, this is not a hood, bro. It's not a hood. And when I think about that, I'm like, yo, I really thought he was like a Bronx Rican. I'm like, oh shit, because you know the Bronx, like I said, the Bronx, it's wild over there.
No, he's not. But he's from the, you know what it is? It's more time. He's from the LES of the 2000s.
That's true.
Rather than the LES of, you know, 80s,
no, that's true.
70s.
That's true, because it's like look, I'm a New Yorker. I like to get fresh. I like to get haircuts, just like Edgar likes to get haircuts, right? I'm not big on jewelry. The older I got, the more ridiculous I felt getting. I honestly look at people that wear jewelry, and inside I'm laughing my fucking ass off. Like, right? I'm not big on jewelry, but I do like to dress nice, get haircuts. So I understand the urge to want to be fly, but I felt with him. You know, you rubbing elbows with Tracy Morgan, you rubbing elbows with Fat Joe, you rubbing elbows with Lil. And I'm like, yo, you want to be a fighter? You want to be a star? Because what I notice about fighters, like Mike Tyson was rubbing elbows with a lot of people, right? But it wasn't like Mike, like I didn't see the same thing. Like, now Mike is a fucking fighter, bro. Yeah, he cool with Tupac. That dude is fucking dangerous, bro. Yeah, he cool with Madonna. Yeah. He'll fuck you up. I never got that energy from Edgar, bro.
He just, like, to me, just doesn't have an edge to him. Like, there's no flare of adversity or a chip on his shoulder. It's just like they gave him all this attention, all this hype, right? And he felt comfortable with it.
Are we like? Let me ask somebody that's on the outside, because we talk a lot of shit. JBN, are we being unfair, JBN?
No, se pasan ustedes. Se pasan. Nah, I mean, it's just the way, bro. Like, I remember his last fight. I was like, I'm not going to watch any of his fights no more. And then I was like, okay, it's Angulo. It's a come forward fighter. It's a pressure fighter. I'm going to watch it. I'm over here sitting with my friends and I'm telling them, like, guys, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a real fight because both of these guys are going to come forward.
Exactly.
Turns out this motherfucker's going back the whole fight. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro,
and yo, man,
I was embarrassed for him, yo.
I saw Edgar let go some real flurries. And Angulo did not go back, man. He did not move. He did not.
Bro.
He just kept going forward.
Isn't it embarrassing when you, like, try to show your casual friends like what a great fighter this guy is, and then he just like disappoints you?
Yeah, he disappointed the heck out of me, man.
Well, listen, you know, no, at the risk of being an odd man out, that's why I said, look, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. I mean, That's a
that
fight.
fight delivered. Hell yeah.
That's a
that fight
fucking
delivered.
fight. And I said, look, I said homegirl from Australia versus blonde homegirl from UK. Bridges versus you gonna get a fight. I always say it's not about guy, girl, squirt. It's about, is it gonna be a fight? Is they gonna go at it? Because I done come out of plenty of clubs. If it's some joints fighting, I don't see nobody worrying about if it's girls. If good fight's a good fight. You know what I mean? Good fight's a good fight. And you got an outfit like Top Rank, a well-to-do outfit with a history in the sport, an actual legacy that has lasted the test of time. And you're investing money in a guy like Edgar when you could sign Diana Estrada from Portland, Oregon. I promise you, you won't be bored. I promise you. You got a girl from East LA called Adelaida Ruiz. I promise you, you won't be bored. Somebody's going to get hurt. People are going to like it because people like seeing, contrary to the opinions of a couple of weirdos online who don't represent the greater totality. People like seeing people fight in general. People like seeing animals fight, right? People like fights, so long as it's a fight. So two girls fighting, ain't shit. And Top Rank is wasting money on this guy. Like, why is Michaela Mayer the only female fighter you have signed? Why don't, well, I'm not going to say what I was told, but I ain't going front. Alexis would like this move if I could tell him what the move is. He would like this move.
Go ahead.
Say it.
I can't tell y'all though. I really can't.
Wait, okay.
Oh, they're gonna get their
Is it
hands on the
about-
Puerto Rican girl.
They're after a girl. It's a girl that people know, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Baumgartner.
Puerto Rican girl.
I can't. But if I told you, it would be
Tunisia.
like, yo, Top Rank is it's just bad motherfuckers, yo. I fucks with it.
Yep.
I
They signed Serrano.
It's Tunisia or
I
Alicia?
can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Fuck.
I literally can't tell you because I don't want to fuck it up.
All right.
If somebody's listening, and I'm being serious, I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, I
But
think it's gonna be Serrano. Because
Nah,
they're
Serrano's under contract, bro. She's under contract. It's like I could tell you that it's not her. I could tell you that it's not her.
So why
Yeah, I
are
mean,
the girls badass out there?
I'll let you use your imagination. That'll be enough for a clever man.
Is she white?
I'm not gonna
I'm not-
tell you anything, bro.
I'm
Rich,
not-
you also trying to get the race.
I'm not versed in female fighting, so
I mean, it has to be somebody like a big deal. Is it from another sport?
Man, I know two people I'm thinking of.
Clarissa
Myself.
Shields?
No.
I'm not gonna help none of y'all.
Yeah, this motherfucker ain't make no face either. This motherfucker didn't make a face.
I'm not gonna help none of y'all motherfuckers, man. But if
You said she was
you
Puerto
knew
Rican?
the move, if you knew the move, you'd be like, yo, Top Rank, they just want the best. They just want the best. And that's what the move would show, that you really want the best. Because that's what the move shows me. I would say that this fighter is a better fighter even than Michaela Mayer.
Is she old?
I'm not gonna tell you anything.
Coño.
I
Is she
fucking
black?
told y'all what I need to know.
You said well known, so I'm like, I'm gonna expand that shit to women's MMA because there are that many,
Not
famous
an
like
MMA
female
fight.
boxers.
No,
Okay.
it wouldn't be an MMA.
All right, so that's out.
Not an MMA fight.
Wow.
I mean, I can't. But I'm not gonna tell you. I can't. But
Who was that other girl that they had on the other card? I think they have about 3 now.
Who?
The Top Rank. They had the one chick that's kind of older but really good, and then they just showed this other younger girl, a woman. I don't. About 2 cards ago, the card before this one, the Top Rank card before this one had a young lady on it. That fought.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about they had Kim Clavel. They're not. It's like they can use Kim because they're cool with Yvonne Michelle. That girl is actually an Yvonne Michelle fighter, and it's like, they got a good relationship, so they got her a slot, because. But you can't say that she's a Top Rank fighter. She's really an Yvonne Michelle fighter. Like, he got a couple of girls, Yvonne Michelle. So don't be surprised if you see some of them on a Top Rank show, because that's what that was. But Jesse Quesada asked, Top Rank making a push to get Super Bad Estrada? I can't say, bro. I can't say specifically who it is. I can't. But I thought
Estrada was
She's not leaving the zone.
I don't know nothing, bro. All I know is that I was told about a move. It was a dope move. I thought, like, wow, Carl Moretti and them motherfuckers is smart.
Mm.
They smart. They really only want the best. They're not just gonna sign a bunch of
Yeah.
girls. They're not just
Oh,
gonna sign a bunch of girls.
well, I'm
They
glad we agree on something then.
All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in the fucking rankings. I'm gonna go through the rankings.
I'm not gonna say anything,
He's
bro.
not gonna say anything. It
But
doesn't matter.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna.
gonna say anything. Like,
I'm gonna try to decipher this myself. See who's not under contract right now. Go through the rankings, see what's going on. I think it's Sinicia.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm gonna tell
Can
you
you
right
at
now,
least
the
tell
fighter's
us
not gonna
by
be Dominican. She's not gonna be Dominican. Yo,
Stupid.
y con esa me despido. Later, fellas. I'm out.
Oh shit.
Hey, can you at least tell us by when we would know, or by when they would announce it? In about a week or two, 3 weeks?
It's contingent upon other factors that could affect the deal, which is why I will not even hint at who it is. Because I never know who's listening. Like, y'all remember, I'd be surprised who watches this fucking channel. I didn't know Tim was watching. I didn't know Sonny was watching. Yeah, I ain't know.
Yeah,
I don't be knowing.
Sonny he be hopping on MySpace. Sonny's a cool cat. You can talk to her. He's a
Cool.
cool guy.
He's a Capricorn, bro. He's gonna be
Yeah.
cool. He's
Nah,
Capricorn.
it is
Capricorn.
cool though, because fighters be. You never know.
It's because he listen. It's because he got the swag. He a Capricorn. I told you we're very special fucking people. We come
What
from
is
another
Tim?
planet.
Is Tim
We
a
come from
Capricorn?
another planet. We're not actually from Earth. We look like y'all, but we're smarter. That's what it is. Joe Frazier. You know the list. Cervecero says Berlanga acts like he's pound for pound best as is. Imagine what he'd act like if he actually did something. He'd probably try to walk on water. Yo, bro, it's wild to me the situation that he's in, because I've seldom ever seen it be this bad to where the buzz just does not or did not like. Let me ask, Isan, is he the biggest hype job you've ever seen?
Berlanga?
Yeah.
I mean, when you when you consider where he's at and like the highlight shows he's doing and shit like that. I mean, yeah. I mean, she might. I mean, damn, is he the
JBN? Is he one of the biggest? Would you consider Edgar like a big hype job? Because he hasn't fought for a belt. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought for a belt, but it's
Man,
like the hype is.
Flores is up there for me.
I would say
Top
probably
rank hype
yes, because like you said, he's already been hyped a lot, and we haven't seen him fight for a belt. We haven't seen him fight a top contender, and he's already performing really bad.
Exactly.
So like at least when guys you say he was a hype job, it's because they got to that point of the contender or the champion, and that's when they fucked up. That's when they perform bad. But this guy's performing bad at low level.
Yeah.
What would you classify Angulo as, a C level fighter?
I would classify Angulo as a C+ to B-, because
C
we know
level.
what he is. We know what he is. Every fight that he's in, he's a pressure fighter. Once the fighter becomes bankable, they deserve a little bit of credit. That look, Angulo is like, you got to work to beat him. You're not just gonna knock him out with one punch. You got to work to beat him. So he's like a B- to a C+. You know what I mean? He's not a solid B or a B+. B-, C+, really C+. But
C+, I would say that C+, right?
because he's not a former champion. He's not. We can't say that he world class like David Morrell. David Morrell is a world class guy. Like, hey, he'll fuck you up real bad. We'll see what he becomes. But Romer's 38.
And he's old, bro. He was old. I hadn't realized how old he was.
Dude, old as shit. Like, bro, you supposed to do that. Like, look, I ain't trying to knock him, but I'm like, being real, yeah, you supposed to be. If you gonna be somebody, then you supposed to eat a guy like that up. If you gonna be something.
The last 3 fights that he had, he was supposed to eat those guys up if he was gonna be somebody.
They was old. Look, Steve Rose is 30-something, bro. He not young neither.
Bro, and that dude has not had no like Rose is like one of those guys that are ranked like number 8 in the world, things like that. It's like, bro, like these are the guys useful. They like Virgil Ortiz. He would get rid of dudes like this in like 2 rounds.
Yeah.
That's a guy who even years ago when Virgil was in Edgar's shoes. Look at the guys Virgil fought on his way up. That's why Virgil got a nice little resume for when he was at for real, because he was stopping dudes that were like, good vets that
It's
were
not the
proven.
greatest dude, but it's like at
No.
least
But
he
it's
go
for
in
his
there
level. For
and
his
he
level,
go in there
yes.
and he make it look like the dude shouldn't
Is
even be
that
in there
dude.
with him.
Yeah, like I always say this. When you are a guy and you're fighting a lower level guy, I'm fine with it, at least if you're making them look like what they are. But when
Yeah.
you're like a Charlo, when you're going out there with like a or a Berlanga, and you're going out with there with a Rose or Montiel, and you're making these guys look better than what they are, nah, man. Then
He
then
made Romer look like he a world title challenger. Because I don't think I don't think Edgar won that fight, bro. Like, I'm being real. Like, he didn't win that fight, bro. He
I mean,
didn't win that fight.
if you
I mean,
think
I didn't
about it,
even
he
get
did
to the
make
end
the
of that
last two
fight, man.
guys.
I must have fell asleep in that fight, but like, I've heard that he had a good jab, but it's like, dude, you overshadowed your own fucking whatever small improvements he made. It was overshadowed by that bite.
Yeah,
That is
that's
such a
true.
that is just shows a lack of character and poise, man. Like I
Yeah,
don't
man.
see him like being much of anything going forward.
He should have been deducted 2 points for that. At which point, when it goes to the cards, he should have lost the decision.
But they won't do that.
That's how I view the fight. That like, look, Ivan Redkach, he got penalized for that shit, didn't he? Why didn't Edgar?
You know
That
what
is
else?
so weird how
I
they
don't
don't
think he's
do
gonna
anything
fight
about
outside New
that.
York.
well,
I
Edgar's
don't think
yeah,
so.
Nah, he gonna fight in
he
Puerto
got
Rico, bro. He said that. That's the move they try to make. And two, because
Well,
he
I
is
hope they don't throw
suspended for
bottles
6
and cans
months.
at this guy.
Well, ahí sí le van a aventar sillas, botellas, palomitas,
Lo que sea,
lo que
zapato,
sea, güey.
camisa,
Coquitos, coquillas.
todo.
Balas tal vez a la verga. Hijo.
Like and the show was built around. Remember that the show was built around watching Edgar fight. That's what that's what it was building to. Every fight we saw in that card, the main event was Berlanga versus Romero. I mean Romer Angulo. It's like, bro, it's bad. And I'm like, I literally do not know what they are going to do and what they can do. I don't know what they can do. He's not getting better. He's getting worse.
Well,
They
can't
need-
blame Andy Rozier.
Nah, he's not the
let's-
trainer no more. Juan De
can't blame
Leon
him.
is the trainer.
He's
Edgar's
not
gonna
he's
get
not he's not
upset.
scapegoated no more.
Edgar's gonna get upset one of these fights and get dropped.
Bro, they not gonna take a fight where anybody could get upset but me and you.
No, but that's the thing, Julian. That's the thing, bro. They're gonna put somebody that's him, and he's gonna lose, bro. He's gonna lose.
Only one's gonna be upset is me and you for watching that shit after saying I'm not watching it.
Bro, honestly, I didn't watch his last fight. I like the Angulo fight. I didn't watch it. I don't watch it like that, bro, because he's him, and just from what I've heard about it, I'm like, bro, I don't want to watch any of his fights. I don't want.
It's not so. You know what? It is not so much him. It's the promotion too, bro. I gotta say this, bro. They top rank cards be started mad late, bro.
That's true.
That shit was at 11. The main card.
It's
It was
fucking
double header.
old, bro. Like I know I don't look a day over 30, but I'm pushing 40, bro. Like I can't be up at. I start farting because I'll eat and then I'll fart what I ate. Like, bro, I'm old, fam. Like it's fucking 12:31, and y'all just walking to the ring now.
Bro, you was onto something where it says like you're only down to 2 people, man. I'm like, this ticket sales was going down too.
No, they are. Because the Rolls fight was a little over 5,000. This fight was a little over 4,000. So yeah, people are getting hip. Like, bro, I can't be at MSG watching this dude just and he look legitimately just without the bite. As far as a boxing match, I literally didn't see him win. Like, bro, you not doing nothing. You just trying to fight him off and then moving around, but you really not doing nothing. Romer
I really did not make it to the end, but like, what did you see that you saw? Like, okay, he's doing okay. Like, what positive can you take out of that?
You want my? And I'm not saying it to be funny. I didn't see anything, bro. I didn't see anything.
Ni siquiera el jab, el hook, nada.
Nothing, bro. Nada,
bro.
nada.
Stop putting this kid in the spotlight, bro. Put him go.
Nah,
Send
man.
him to Mexico, bro. Send him
It's
to
too
Mexico.
late for that, man.
That spot
It's too
belongs to
late.
Xander
For
Zayas,
me,
man.
unless they're willing to take him back, if it's me, like we're gonna actually we're gonna fix this. The only way I could see where it's possible to fix him, take him back down to 6 rounders, up the competition, but take him back down to 6 rounders and let him earn the rounds, because that's what he hasn't done and that's what he's struggling with. You have to fight for 3 minutes, right? And it's not going to be a guy that's going to fall right over as soon as you hit him. You need to earn these rounds. That's what he's missing. Everything that it's like for him now, everything that happens between round 1 and what he wants to be the knockout, that's what he's struggling with. The actual fighting that, you got to jab, set your shots up. You can't just let him push you around. These are the things that he's struggling with. So you got to take him back down to either 6 or 8 rounders and let him get those rounds in the bank, because he wasn't able to his first 16 fights. He wasn't able to. He was knocking the guys out. They'll fall right over like a cheap chair. Fall right over. You need rounds, bro. He doesn't have it. And even that, I don't know if that'll be enough, because I have to assume that he's sparring people and getting rounds in sparring at least. And that's what he looked like. I think we're being a bit cruel, but we're being honest.
Ya que se retire la verga, me vale verga.
Yeah, he should make fucking Daddy Yankee.
Nah, but Julius,
he should be the next reggaetonero.
But this is the kind of shit that if you're Aram and you are, because at the end of the day, boxing it's like an investment. You are investing in fighters. You're investing in his development. It's like, bro, at a certain point, I'm losing bread on you. Like, I mean, I know he's doing little decent shows and shit. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, bro, like you at the end of the day, you are predicated off my bread. And if you're bringing me shit back and you're not developing so I can make bread off you, then we're gonna have a problem.
Listen, Jesse Hart left Top Rank, right? Amicably, by the way. It was an amicable split. And they have gone as far as getting back in contact with him, because what they want is Hart versus Berlanga. What does that tell you? They see it for what, like, yo, this dude, we can't keep promoting this dude, bro.
Sink or swim.
Sink or swim. We can't, like, bro, you got to show that you worth this bread. When it's Gabe Rosado, it's a problem. When it's Jesse Hart, it's like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, bro, you ain't even got a belt. Why you talking like that? Talking about if the money right. Bro, you ain't even got a belt. You ain't fought for one yet. The money got
crazy to me. Like that's the I hate hearing that, because like, bro, you literally are on the come up. That's not what you should be worried about right now. You should be worried about getting experience. First of all, when they talk about a Jesse Hart, you should be like, yeah, I'll take that fight because I can get experience from that. Not you not at
Javier said it best. Javier Avila says he was complaining, and I remember he was complaining that Rolls was running, and Angulo was in front of him the whole fight. Angulo wasn't running.
That's perfect. And he couldn't deal with either. So it's like, bro, so what are we doing with you?
That's what now do you see that, like, you can't really win convincingly when the guy's moving. You struggle with the movement, but you also struggle with a guy that's coming to you.
Yeah, it's like, okay, bro, so what do you want?
What the fuck are we gonna do, bro? Who we gonna put you in here with, a heavy bag?
It all stems from those first round knockouts, bro. How do you have 16 fights, but you didn't get you got 16 rounds and 16 fights. You didn't get no experience, you're telling me? That's what that is telling me. So it's now it's like, okay, now you don't know how to jab and take a step back. Now you don't know how to throw a right hand and turn it over to another punch. You don't know how to set up shots now because you're looking for one punch all the time. But it's like, bro, it's not gonna be that. These last 3 fights, it has not been there. So
you know what they need to do? Take Edgar to Big Punch south of the border. It's just south of the border on the West Coast. You take Edgar to Big Punch under a pseudonym instead of Edgar Berlanga, Bedgar Herlanga, right? Just change his fucking name, right? let him fight a couple of fights, because this is what they do sometimes with, this is what they did for a young fighter, what they're still doing for a young fighter named Zarina McCoy. If you need fights and you need experience, go to Big Punch. There's fights over there. And they should do that with him because he needs rounds. And he's too high profile for Top Rank. They got to pay him A, B, C, and D every time you get out. Bro, you need rounds, bro. You need rounds under the hot lights when it counts, so you can deal with that. Work on your jab and setting up your right and turning over your left hook, all your shit.
Hey, Julius, when not to interrupt, but you keep going. But after I wanted to talk about this Charlo shit when you have a sec.
Oh, the Charlo, let's go to the Charlo shit. We've been wailing on Berlanga for like 20 years.
No, yo,
yo me estoy sintiendo mal, bro. Yo me estoy sintiendo mal, yo.
No, because it's but
he was about to put me to sleep with all this Berlanga talk.
But it is a lot to talk about there. That's why, because there's a lot of fucked up shit. But fucking Rafael posted a letter of Charlo signing to fight Murtaza Aliyev, the IBF mandatory next. But he's, we hear the Tim Tszyu news, so it's most likely he's gonna be stripped of that belt.
Yeah.
Or no Tim Tszyu fight. I mean, I for his sake, I think just drop the belt, bro.
I think he should leave. I think he should leave. That division. To be honest with you,
really?
Why?
I don't think so. Because he goes up to 60 after Lara. Who else? He's gonna be just like Jamal. Literally,
bro, put it like this, bro. Put it like this, right? If he stays and he fights Tim, right? It's cool. Like, obviously, as a boxing fan, I want to see that. That's a good fight. I have Jermel winning. If it's Murtaza Aliyev, I also have Jermel winning. But they created a bad situation where he made two separate agreements with two separate teams and two separate alphabet organizations. Like, you made a mess. It felt like in order to do the undisputed fight, they made promises that they knew they couldn't keep.
Yeah.
You wanted Tim Tszyu to chill out, so y'all told him, listen, Tim, chill, we'll fight you afterwards, knowing that Murtaza Aliyev has been waiting, and you have to fight him. It looked like y'all did whatever y'all had to do to make sure we do the undisputed fight again. And that's cool. I appreciate that.
Dig it. Yeah.
But you can't stay now. Like, how you going to stay? You can't. You're going to have to drop one of them belts at least. You're going to have to.
No, yeah, and that's why I'm like, because I don't. Did you see when Rafael posted the letter that literally it said on the third line, I will not make any other defenses if it's not mine.
Oh, I did a whole video on that shit. I did a whole video.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. I'm like, bro, he's gonna drop that red belt probably. He's probably gonna drop that belt.
I mean, you know that the more high profile fight is the Tim Tszyu fight, but the problem is, Murtaza Aliyev have been the mandatory since 2019, bro, since November of 2019, and y'all have been paying that man to step aside ever since.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Does Tim Tszyu, if he drops the red belt and they decide to go for Tim Tszyu, now I know Tim is signed with PBC, but is this promoter push for a bid to get that in Australia? You think? Because they're doing numbers over there. He did what, 400K on pay-per-view over there?
You mean what, the Charlo fight?
Yeah, like Tszyu versus Charlo. Do you think?
I don't know.
Tszyu's people are gonna step on Heyman's toes and try to push for a bid?
Bro, the real question you gotta ask yourself is: do you really think that Jermel Charlo is gonna go to Australia?
No, that's what I'm saying. He might
for 10 million.
He might end up getting 2 belts.
Yeah, 10 million, which is equivalent to like what, 2 million US.
Oh, because he's getting paid in Australian.
Yeah,
they're gonna pay him in quackers and boomerangs.
They're gonna give him an Outback Steakhouse gift card. Like, what do you?
Listen, bro. We got 2 million for you. You go to any Outback in the world, and we got you.
My God, they gonna pay him in Vegemite.
No, but if Tim and his people push for that fight,
they're gonna pay him in pictures of Ebony Bridges.
He'll go fight.
I'll be like
if they push for that shit in Australia, we might see Mel end up vacating 2 belts in the process. Then I think he'll go up.
I mean, we know which fight is a more high-profile fight. It's obviously the Tim Tszyu fight, but Tim Tszyu didn't become mandatory till last year. He didn't. Murtaza Aliyev have been mandatory for 2.5 years. So it's like,
I'm surprised his people really are pushing for this right now, man. I
think-
like Tim, but
I think they're pushing it because they want him to vacate, bro. I like
That's
Tim.
what I'm
Don't get it
saying, bro.
twisted.
That's
But
what
that's
I'm
what I
saying.
think it is.
I think,
Dude,
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
think
bro.
he's ready. Like the both organizations say otherwise, but I don't think
I don't
hell
think
no.
he's ready. I
He's
don't
not
think he's
ready.
ready.
No, his best opponent is probably Takeshi.
Takeshi and Terrell Gachet, but really to me more Takeshi than Terrell, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And
even then Takeshi was like what, 40?
he 40? No, that dude is not old.
No, he's not old. He's like in his mid
let me hold on.
30s.
That dude is young, bro.
Early 30s.
Takeshi
Early
new?
30s, I think.
Yeah, motherfucker ain't no motherfucking 40, bro. Like that's
I could have sworn somebody was telling me that this dude was like.
Charlotte has just fought a lot of styles at this point, so
Oh no, yeah,
he knows what to
32.
do in there.
He's 32.
like legitimately, like motherfuckers think I say that shit for no reason. Look, he fought two pure boxers, Tony Harrison and Tony Harrison and no, not two pure boxers. He fought a pure boxer, Tony Harrison, two pressure fighters in Castano and motherfucking and Jason Rosario. Different sizes too, because Jason is big for 154, whereas Brian is little. He done fought boxer. He done fought everybody that need to really be fought except for Lara, but Lara up there middleweight, so who really know? Yeah. So it's like, bro, Tim don't got the experience for that fight, bro. He just don't have it right now.
And that's why I really think that Tim and his people, I think they're gonna try to push to get it in Australia. Obviously, Charlo and his team not gonna be down with that. I think they're gonna try to force it to a bid, and then you know what's gonna happen. Charlo's gonna vacate the belt. I think that's the plan.
That's what I think the play is, though. I think it's not about getting them in the ring. I think the play is getting the belt so then we could go back to Australia and do our Australian thing, which I ain't mad at, by the way. I'm with it. I ain't mad at that. But he got too many people breathing down his neck. Fundora breathing down his neck. Tim Tszyu breathing down his neck. Motherfucking Muerto is breathing, Muerto, whatever the fuck his name is breathing down his neck.
Yeah, you got like that's why it's hard to hold on to all them belts. And it's like the problem is that you made so many promises to you like, bro, you literally told two different mandatories, yeah, I'll fight you next. Like you like they
literally
they I think they're prepared to vacate that IBF belt.
And I feel like the only reason they could have made that many promises is because they figured, look, all we really want to do is the undisputed fight. So we gonna say whatever the fuck we gotta say. If we gotta tell Tim.
Yeah, we'll fight your bodies. Yeah, fuck them. I would do the same shit.
Yeah, well, he's got to say what he's got to say to get the fight.
Yeah, like I'm not mad that they did that. It's just that I thought that's why I thought that he gonna leave. Like, bro, Murtazaliev gonna want a shot. That man been in the background for a bean. Look, they paid him to step aside, and they put him on shows that wasn't on TV. Like his fight would not be on TV. But Charlo's last, I think, 2 to 3 fights, Murtazaliev was on those cards, but it wasn't on TV. It's like y'all been feeding him bullshit for 2.5 years. Like I'm not mad at him. Like, no, I understand. He wants a shot. He waited long enough, and he was mandatory before Tim. I understand.
I don't think he
him. I don't really think he gonna hold that belt too long, given the people that's at 154. Like from Dark.
Hey, listen. If Murtazaliev gets a vacant IBF, bro, Boots is gonna be up there by like next year.
That's what I mean.
That's exactly who Boots is gonna go for. Literally, that because Boots is gonna get the vacant. Boots is gonna get the vacant IBF welter, and he's gonna go up and get the vacant. Because all you need is one ranked fight in there.
Dora get the WBC, Boots will get the IBF, motherfucking Tim wants the WBO.
Bro, you're gonna have Tim Tszyu with the WBO. You're gonna have fucking Boots with the IBF. You're gonna have Fundora with the WBC, bro. You're gonna have probably, most likely, Madrimov with the WBA. That's gonna be a nice division, bro. Fuck
it's gonna be but it's gonna be divided because if Madrimov gets the WBA, he ain't gonna get to unify with nobody.
Yeah, he'll be on the up. I mean, Eddie. I mean, yeah, he's with the. Is he with Matchroom or?
No, he's with Matchroom. Yeah, that's a Matchroom show. The rematch with Soro is going to be on the undercard of Chisora versus Pulev.
Yeah, good luck getting him a unification. Unless Eddie sends him over, which I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he will, but
I think if like let's say if PBC does another little undisputed tournament, I think then Eddie would he'll kind of be, all right, man, I gotta send you over. Like,
see, Tim deal with the PBC, right? I don't get the sense that it's the same kind of deal that the Charlos have, that you just gonna be there for the rest of your fucking life.
No,
right? It looked like it's like a 2-fight deal, maybe 3 fights, and then
when he fights there, it'll be on PBC. That I think that's what that is. You know.
yeah, like in other words, if he want to do a fight in Australia, right? The fuck they gonna tell him no? Like, man, I'm not. We ain't using none of y'all money.
Oh, Julius, I know I want to talk to you about, bro. I want to talk to you about. All right. So you see Inouye versus Butler, probably for December this year.
Yeah,
we know what the fuck's gonna happen, man. Let's
yeah, we all know.
Like I'm not even like I'm not even.
If Butler
I'm not
loses,
even gonna,
you know it's gonna be Glovegate 3.0.
Yeah, man. Like you see what Butler said. You know we're gonna give it a go. I'm like, come on, you
No,
know
but he's giving it a go. He's giving it a go.
Yeah,
I'm with the shit. Like, I love him. Because he not being a bitch, and that's why you gotta. He not being a bitch. Like, look,
exactly.
he hit hard, and he's Japanese and all that. But I'm gonna fight. I'm a champion. Yeah. I'm gonna fight.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing with it. He's not doing that shit where he's gonna hold on to that last belt and just be that dude. Like,
because he could. He could be on some whole ass shit. Like, man, I ain't give a shit about
Felix Stern.
I'm keeping my belt.
He could be Felix Stern. No, but
he's Sven Otke.
Yeah,
he could be Caleb Plant pricing his ass out. I want 10 million. You gotta do this.
Yeah,
you gotta do that.
What?
Man,
like
this
we're gonna give you Mexican TV rights. Like, bro, come on, you gonna give Canelo something? But fuck was gonna say. Oh yeah, so if Inoue gets by Butler, he instantly gets the WBO super status. Do you think he goes up and goes for Fulton via mandatory first or MJ?
I honestly, if the question is which one of the two champions at 122 do I feel he stands a legitimate chance of fighting, it's MJ.
Yeah.
It's not. Look. Let me break this down because I didn't get the chance to say it in a video. Fulton, I don't want to blame the fighter, but like your team, you've had over a year to pursue MJ Akhmadaliev. You ended up fighting Danny Roman. That told me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
You saying a lot, but what are you doing? And it's not one way. MJ, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Ronnie Rios.
They got that motherfucker lined up with 2 mandatories when he just fought one last year. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't Rios a WBA mandatory?
Yeah, Ronnie's by way of the WBA. And Daniel was a dual mandatory by way of the WBC and the WBO. So it's like, all right, Stefan, you just satisfied both your mandatories, sort of. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone. What are you doing now to get MJ in the ring?
He's gonna fight Lewis Neri next. Get the fuck out.
Of course, I know.
He's gonna fight fucking Lewis.
And you already got motherfuckers starting the bull. He knew he gonna. How is he knew he gonna avoid him, fam? They're not in the same weight class.
It's the Ward shit in Golovkin all over again, bro. It's gonna be.
And I like Fulton. I like Fulton. I always give him props. But just being real, bro, this undisputed shit, you need to sort that out before Inoue get up there. Why? So that when he get up there, he has to fight you. He has to. You're the only guy with a belt, with the belts. And what you do? Daniel Roman, Luis Neri is probably next, and MJ going to stay over there. And PBC being PBC, it'll be easier to get the fight with MJ than it would be to get it with Fulton.
Unless mandatory. That's what I'm saying. Inoue like his team has to know. They have to know the Fulton fight is gonna be harder to make. Force yourself on him. I really will be mad if Inoue goes for MJ first, just because, like, bro, we're not gonna get that Fulton fight.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that because if you got it's
a
too
great
much.
fight.
Let me say this. It's too much stupid shit, and people do too much stupid shit in boxing. I'm not knocking Fulton as a boxer because I think he's a great boxer, right? But being real, there is nowhere on planet Earth, there's nowhere in this solar system, in this galaxy, in this quadrant of the universe that you are worth the same or more money than Inoue. So you're the one that needs to bite the bullet if you believe you can beat him. You don't want to do that. Your team doesn't want to do that. You want to bullshit and waste time. That's all you're going to do is bullshit and waste time. You're not worth more money than him.
He's going to clout chase and say they didn't want to fight me and then go to 26 and rematch Figueroa.
Son, tell me that's not what's going to happen.
No, it is. And you know what? And that's why I'm saying I want Inoue to become his mandatory because that will shut off. Bro, you
Well,
want
what?
this fight? Go to Japan. Go to
All
Japan.
right. You become his mandatory. You get in a haggling situation. That drags on. What is Inui actually after? Belts. So he's going to go after whoever's willing to fight. And I'm not convinced. I would like to believe that I'm wrong, right? I would like for Stephen Fulton to be the one that goes against the grain and actually, no, I'm going to do what I got to do. Because he got a buzz right now, and I'm trying to kill that. I'm trying to kill that. Like, y'all go see the difference between me and him, right? Some guys are pursuing a fight. Some guys are just pursuing an angle. And when I look at this, I'm like, yo, bro, it's been you and MJ long enough. It really has.
Mhm.
And
It's
what
been
the
a year
fuck
since
have you been
unified.
doing to get him in the ring?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just
Literally,
that they're pro isolationists, and yet they have fighters that just call these fighters out that they know they're not gonna have. So what
You
is
see
the
how
point?
backwards this shit is? Because Terrence was with Top Rank. Oh, it's okay not to fight him because he's with Top Rank. Well, fucking he knew he's with Top Rank.
yeah. But listen, Fulton. Like if there's somehow our discussion of that fight ongoing, whatever. Fulton's he gives me the vibe that he ain't gonna want to travel, and you need to travel, bro. You knew you're selling out over there doing
I already
15.
said that. That fight,
Yeah.
Inui versus Fulton in America does not draw 20,000 people.
It doesn't.
It
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean, Inui, God bless him, he's not that name over here. Fulton, God bless him, he's not that name over here either. The only difference
Yeah.
is in a different country, you can get 20,000.
More importantly, my man Devin the Dream,
yes,
Devin the King,
yes,
Devin the Undisputed. He set the example that, look,
Exactly.
I believe in my boxing. Australia or America, I believe in my boxing. I'm going.
Yeah.
The
Wherever
youngest
I go, I
undisputed
believe I
champion.
could be that guy wherever.
Like this money shit and the fact that we talking about money encompasses that it's ridiculous. Stefan,
Yeah.
you don't sell out here. Over there in Japan, he draws 20,000. His viewership is monstrous in Japan. So that's where the money is. And either you gonna go or this fight not gonna happen.
bro. And listen, Inui is the first 3-belt unified champion ever in Japan. If he goes and stops Butler on New Year's Eve in December this year, his name is gonna grow even more because he will be the first.
He makes me proud to be Japanese.
Yes, he would be the first undisputed champion in 50 years at Bantam, the first 4-belt era.
You're
That
Japanese.
motherfucker's name is gonna skyrocket.
Que tú no
Japanese.
eres, coño. Que tú no eres, man.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. But yo, like just be, and this is, it's like I said for 3 years, Murata is a bigger money fight than both the Charlo brothers on the same night. People would still argue, and I'm like, all right, keep arguing. You'll see. He's gonna fight Murata over the bigger money fight. Golovkin understands. If Golovkin can humble himself to fight a Murata in his neck of the woods because that's where the money is, why don't these Americans understand that? Golovkin didn't have to fight Murata in Japan. He wanted to because that's where the money is, right? So, Stefan, get on a plane because you're not worth what Golovkin is worth. If Golovkin, who got $14 million for Steve Rolls, can get on a plane, like, nah, I'm gonna fight Murata in Japan because the money over there. That's where he got a name, right? I bet we do that same fight in America, it ain't gonna do that. But if we go over there, we get money.
How much money did Golovkin make for that fight?
Bro, I think he got. I heard a number. Just the rough number that I heard was like 15, 20. I think it was. He got.
Yeah, I figured it'd be north of 10 because he gets paid what?
Got a ridiculous amount of money. If you were super bantamweight in America, the 122, bro,
it's just not gonna happen because Americans are fucking size queens, man. They're not into the fucking lower.
Look at the last. Nonito fought in America, right? Look at the last 2 fights that he had in America. Look at those arenas, and now look at Saitama Arena.
Dog, Nonito's gate was like 300. Nonito's gate was like what, 300,000?
Bro, it was, and Nonito's fun to watch. So it's not, what I'm saying is not a knock on the fighters, but it's reality, bro. You're not a draw in America. In general, the super bantamweight division is not a big draw in America. But if you could get 20,000 Japanese in an arena and they could cough up, let's say 2 to 3 M's for you, bro, get on a plane. What the fuck are you waiting for? What are you gonna do? You gonna mention him on Twitter all fucking day? I'm not going for that. And as soon as that shit starts, it hasn't started yet because they're not in the same weight class. But as soon as I'm not gonna nah, see, you just wasting fucking people's time, bro. You didn't unify with MJ, even though he's the only other champion at the weight. What did you really do to get him in the ring?
People are giving Fulton credit for the Ramon was a good win, but it's like, bro, no, listen. You need to beat the other champion that beat Roman when he was a champion. That's the guy you beat. You don't get credit for beating the guy Roman beat. The guy MJ beat. You need to beat MJ.
And MJ beat him what, 2-3 fights ago?
Yeah, and it was years ago. How many years ago was that fight?
That was like 2 years ago, bro.
Exactly. And Roman and God bless Roman because he's a damn good fighter. But bro, like it was 2 years ago, and he's been inactive for what a year.
He was inactive ahead of that fight.
A year.
With Fulton.
So it's we need to Fulton. He's gonna have to bite the bullet. And when Inoue stops Butler this year,
if it were an American fighter that were filling up an American arena with 20,000 people, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But guess what? It's fucking not. It's a Japanese fighter. So go to Japan and cut the bullshit. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't believe you.
And Inoue is really looking at Fulton. He's been mentioning Fulton and looking at him little Twitter back and forth today. He's looking at Fulton, so I wouldn't be surprised if when he goes up, he wants to go for Fulton. Yeah. But I'm just I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen with that because I feel like Fulton's gonna fuck that up, and I can't wait to see it. I want to see the fight, but I know what's gonna happen, bro.
Well, you answered your question. Fulton's gonna fuck it up. But can I say what's funny is people in the Japanese fans and the Fulton fans trying to talk shit to each other on Twitter via translation. That's shit's been comedy.
That's
been hilarious.
Who's gonna buy the album? Who's gonna buy the album, bro?
Joe, I'm gonna get the bootleg because the Mexicans over here and Islos are probably having bootleg.
I'm gonna get the bootleg.
I ain't paying for that shit.
It's already downloading on my uTorrent.
Bro,
I'm going on LimeWire. I'm gonna grab it on LimeWire.
You're that mad about that shit, Julius?
Sword, bro. I'm fucking furious, bro.
That's a fire.
You're gonna go fucking destroy that statue
furious, bro.
because you're so mad about that album.
This is actually a one-handed sword. The Greeks used to use this with a big shield, big sword. That's my wife and kids arguing in the background over the mess they made. If you hear them,
I don't hear them.
Hey, Isan, Triple G about to get starched.
He about to get starched. He's gonna
get fucked up.
Yesterday was
gonna get the shit beat out of him, bro. He's gonna get the shit beat out of him. But I love it. You know that's where we're emotional. We're boxing fans, and Stefan is gonna waste all of our time, bro. I don't want to jump to conclusions and judge.
But it's predictable, Julius. It's predictable.
It is though.
We've seen it it's like the Wilder situation, bro. The A side is a foreigner who the American needs to go see.
Yeah,
but there's gonna be. But
the reason I give him the benefit of the doubt is because I don't want it to seem like pattern behavior that you're always no. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. I'm gonna wait, but I'm telling you that I already see he's not gonna go over there because he doesn't think. I don't gotta go. All right then, bro. Then just keep doing what you're doing here while no one watches. Because who do you really think watched you fight Daniel Roman?
Bro, go to 26 and fight Figueroa again. Go ahead. Get knocked out for much less money. Go ahead.
It goes to the point, Jules. It goes to the point.
And the whole time they gonna be hating on Inoue as if it's Inoue that needed to do. Bro, he's the one with a name at these weights, not you.
You know it's coming, Jules. The same thing with Triple G. The ESPN's just hyping him up. They're just feeding us to him. He's not really that good.
Exactly.
But
it's the same thing all over.
It's literally the same shit.
Thing all over again.
Literally, our American champions don't get enough credit. Only the foreigners get enough credit.
Exactly. As if it's fucking easy for foreigners in America to get fucking credit.
What I will say though is, it's just we're gonna see it happen. Fulton is not built like Devin Haney. I give Haney a lot of crap because there's moments where he could step on the gas, Jules, and finish the fight. That's my only criticism of Haney is his reluctancy to close the show when the openings are there. But Fulton's not built like that. He's not going to go over there.
So why you think I said it ahead of Devin Haney's fight? He will set the example for this generation of fighters to where there are no excuses. If Devin Haney can get on a plane and go to Australia without his father, because remember when everything he didn't go with his dad. He went alone. Right? His dad didn't get allowed to come in until the day before the fight. All right? If he could do that, Stephen, you ain't got no excuse to not go to Japan. You don't have one, bro. You don't. And you're not a big name in America. Fuck what Twitter. People on Twitter don't matter. Why you think I don't talk to their ass? Because they don't matter.
And also that there's only, I will say this, there's only 2 fighters on Top Rank that I don't think will travel, and that's Tiafimo and Berlanga. But you ask Keyshawn Davis right now, Keyshawn, you want to go to Japan for a shot at 135-pound title? He's going.
He's going. All right, it's fighters that's and
Shakur's going.
It's simple. It's like if you believe in yourself that you can win Japan, America, Australia, wherever, UK, wherever, right? You believe in your boxing, you're gonna get on that plane. If you don't believe in your boxing, you know what you're gonna do? Cook up a conspiracy theory because he hits hard.
I mean, last time I checked, I thought it was world champion.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. The role of a world champion is kind of be like showcase your talents around the world to the people.
Supposed to be.
That's what I mean.
What was it like in the Coliseum days, Jules?
I mean, it was different, bro. Like you could literally have
fighters from all over the world come over.
You could have an orgy and still watch a fight at the same time. It was different back then.
Come on, man.
There you go. But I mean the sense of that fighters wanted to come from all over the world to just showcase their talents everywhere.
Yeah, now you got guys that they want to just have home field advantage because they don't believe in themselves.
Well,
God bless Ward, but let's be real. The reason he didn't go for Undisputed was because the guys he had to go for bigger draws in other countries that he had to travel to. Adonis, Butte. If you fight Butte, Froch went over there. And the Froch rematch, Ward didn't want to travel.
Didn't they offer Ward a 7-figure, almost 8-figure to go to England for the Froch rematch?
Listen, this is why I'm always harping about it. I saw that there was a Japanese article published about what Stephen Fulton said. You know, that they tried to make it seem like some type of scandal.
Yeah, wait, what did he say?
Scandal with Inouye's raps, fam. That Japanese boxing commission don't play. You think that they don't play over there, bro?
Bro, they got Anioka for some fucking tattoos. They got Anioka for some damn tattoos.
And you gonna try to make it's something. Ain't nothing suspicious, fam. You know what you telling me with that? Exactly. Honest to God, you know what you telling me with that? You're nervous.
What did Fulton say?
Didn't I tell you, Jules? Once they saw him with the Reyes gloves, they were gonna say something, but I'm more shocked, Jules. You really are alien. You speak Japanese now too?
What do you got?
Amazing.
I'm a Capricorn. Right? Capricorn.
Wait, what did Fulton say about what did he say about Inouye shits?
He said something about Inouye's the gloves. He said don't something about Inouye with Reyes gloves, some shit like that.
I thought the translation said that the fans replied to Fulton saying, "Oh, something about the gloves."
He said something about Inouye with Reyes gloves. That's what I took from it. And I'm like, I saw that people tried to start on like some shit, some bullshit. And I'm like, bro, that Japanese boxing commission, that's not the New York State Athletic Commission. That's not the Nevada State.
They're not Texas.
They don't fuck around over there, right?
They're
if you're trying to imply that the only reason this man hit hard, cut it out, bro. What you telling me, you know what that tells me? His power intimidates you. That's what that tells me.
Nervous energy. Like, bro, what are you worried about that for?
Because this dude didn't all of a sudden just start hitting hard when he wore Reyes gloves. He been knocking motherfuckers out wearing winning gloves, let alone Reyes gloves.
Well, you know what it is, Joe. I have been standing on this principle since I've been coming on the channel. A lot of these guys don't crave combat the way like Inouye does, the way Crawford does. That'll run to the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be different. You have to have a different mindset to be a guy that wants to go into the fire and exchange. It just takes a different mindset.
I think it's a mindset, but it's pride.
And confidence.
If you're good at anything, right? I don't really care what it is. If you're good at anything, whether it's a competitive sport or an art or just anything, you want to know how good you really are. So you crave competition. You crave
Right.
competition. You know what I mean? And if you don't crave competition, you're scared.
Yeah. I want to talk about Fury for a bit. Now that you mentioned that, it's like it's different. Like he doesn't crave competition; he craves attention. Like
Yeah.
remember when Anthony Joshua was reported to be, uh, signing a new deal with the Zone for Dolo, and then nobody, not a soul, not even a win. Oh, I want 500 billion to get me into the ring, bro. You're not worth half a billion. Get the fuck out of here.
He's
What's
a
the
Bro,
problem?
Johnson
Half a
AK.
he
Fury
made an
has
announcement about an announcement that he's
bruh.
going to announce something, just not today.
He just wants to stay relevant.
Fury is of the same ilk as Floyd. As soon as nobody stops talking about him, like
He gotta
he
open his mouth
got to open
to
his
keep
mouth.
his name in his people's mouth. Like yo, bro, it's not normal for him to just come out of the woodwork and talk all this crazy stuff. Like yo, bro, who the fuck is gonna pay you that kind of money? Not the Saudis.
Listen, you done
Hey, I
fought
thought he
Wilder
didn't
3
fight for money.
times.
I thought he
You
didn't
done
fight for
fought
money.
Wilder 3 times.
Yeah.
Them Saudis did not give a fuck about that. I don't give a shit about the Americans. You didn't make in that fight what AJ made in Saudi Arabia with Ruiz. You didn't. You didn't.
Just wild nervous energy, man. And it's like I don't think he wanted with Usyk, bro.
No, I don't think he does either. I don't think he
Nah.
does either.
He knows
That's
Like-
why
Usyk will rinse him. He knows
he's
Usyk will rinse
that's why
him.
he's holding the belt hostage, bro.
He's a Capricorn. He's a crazy man, right?
Born on the same day as Muhammad Ali.
You
Right?
know what?
I think even mentally Usyk would fuck with him because Usyk's not gonna, bro. That motherfucker will stand
You
there.
can't
crying
mind
like
game
shit.
a dude when you don't. When the dude like Usyk is smart. Usyk speaks English and he understands English, but he also understands that people are ignorant. Like I understand people are ignorant, and he'll play Johnny Foreigner. So whatever you say, he like I don't gotta react to this shit. I don't even know what the fuck you saying, bro. He said something what?
Like Usyk, Fury could show up to the presser in the Batman costume. Usyk will show up as the Penguin
Yeah.
and
Yo, them
mind fuck
motherfuckers
him.
are crazy.
He was
Well,
dressed
Usyk
as the
could show up
Joker.
as Superman. Why
Like
he
he had
can't
the
come in
suit, bro.
Superman cape?
Oh my
And
god.
it's but real shit, yo. Anyway, look, it's time for lunch. Been a pleasure.
Time for me to
I'm
go
gonna
work.
do another live later in the evening for the evening boxing talks because I'm about to take the family outside. Catch y'all on the rebound.
All right, man. Talk, stay safe.
Peace
bro.
out, man.
All right.